and it caused a big jam, and as a result there were notices which were given by the JDA to all those who had encroached the land. However, there was controversy also. They were reluctant to remove the encroachments earlier, but action followed because the notices were already served and they were given time to remove their obstruction, to remove their structures which as per JDA illegal. Over to Rahul now.
वो फिलहाल जारी है। राजधानी जयपुर में मास्टर प्लान को धरातल पर उतारने के लिए जगतपुरा क्षेत्र में लगने वाले भारी ट्रैफिक जाम से आम जन को स्थायी मुक्ति दिलाने के लिए ये लगातार जयपुर विकास प्राधिकरण यानी कि जयपुर डेवलपमेंट अथॉरिटी की ओर से ये जो कार्रवाई है, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर क्लियरेंस अभियान है, वो लगातार इस वक्त जारी है। और जो इसका उद्देश्य है वो बता दें कि जो जगतपुरा नंदपुरी अंडरपास क्षेत्र है वहां राजस्व रिकॉर्ड में 80 फीट जो चौड़ा सेक्टर रोड है वो पूरी तरह से बाधित रहता था, जिसके कारण सड़क की जो सीमा है वो लंबे समय से यहाँ पर देखने को मिलती थी। प्रशासनिक अधिकारियों के मुताबिक ये कार्रवाई अचानक नहीं की गई है, बल्कि सभी पक्षों को इस पूरे दौरान जो नोटिस है वो भी इस दौरान दिया गया है। जगतपुरा महल रोड है, नंदपुरी अंडरपास के पास की घटना जहां पर बुलडोजर एक्शन देखने को मिला। और कल भी 5 ऐसे धार्मिक स्थल थे जिन पर ये कार्रवाई की गई है, जिनमें बता दें कि जिसमें से एक मजार, एक नूरानी मस्जिद थी जिसे कल यहाँ पर किया गया, जिसको यहाँ पर कल ध्वस्त किया गया है। और इस वक्त देखिए लगातार ये तस्वीर हम आपको दिखा रहे हैं, ये वो पूरा इलाका है जो फिलहाल ध्वस्त कर दिया गया है। देखिए लगातार ये लाइव तस्वीरें सीधे जाओ।
All right, viewers, we have another big breaking news development that we are tracking, and this is the Republic questions role of police in a Trisha case cover-up. Now, police officer under scanner and he goes on sick leave. Republic questions officers at the police station who are under scanner and questions over role of Sub-Inspector Dinesh Sharma. And officers tell Republic that SI Dinesh Sharma is now on leave. SI Dinesh Sharma is the officer under scanner in the Trisha cover-up. Big development here. Republic exposing all the cover-ups in the Trisha death case. Now, Republic questions the role of police in the Trisha death case. Cover-up. Now, police officer under scanner goes to sick leave. He goes on sick leave, ladies and gentlemen. The Republic questions the officers at the police station. Our reporter went there. He questioned the officers at the police station who were under scanner, and the question was questions over the role of the Sub-Inspector Dinesh Sharma. And officers tell Republic that SI Dinesh Sharma is not available, is not here, and he has gone on leave. Suddenly he goes on for leave. SI Dinesh Sharma is the officer under scanner in the Trisha case cover-up, ladies and gentlemen. So this is Republic continues to track all the developments because this is a campaign story. We have been following all the developments and from day one, ladies and gentlemen, and there were many lapses which were highlighted by Republic in this case, beginning from the point that the belt was not given in the initial days when the first post-mortem was done, to the point that the anticipatory bail was given in a hurry to the ex-judge, and now action followed. And also, we also highlighted the fact that there was a VVIP treatment which was being given to Giribala and Samarth, and also highlighted all the other lapses which were there in this entire case. Now, our correspondent Satya Vijay has filed a ground report from the location. Let's listen into that.
तुलसा शर्मा संदिग्ध मौत मामले में शुरुआत से ही भोपाल पुलिस की लापरवाहियां उजागर हुई हैं और इस मामले में सबसे अहम कड़ी वो बेल्ट, वो लिगेचर बेल्ट जिससे कि तुलसा ने फांसी लगाई, ये बताया गया, उसकी जब्ती में भी बड़ी लापरवाहियां हुई हैं। सबसे पहली लापरवाही की अगर बात करें तो जब फर्स्ट पीएम हुआ था उस समय उस लिगेचर बेल्ट को डॉक्टरों के पास नहीं भेजा गया। सेकंड पीएम हुआ तब भी लिगेचर बेल्ट को डॉक्टरों के पास नहीं भेजा गया। और इससे बड़ी लापरवाही ये है कि ये जो लिगेचर बेल्ट है इसकी जब्ती के दौरान किसी की निशानदेही नहीं ली गई। मतलब किसी के सामने, ऐसा तुलसा शर्मा के वकीलों का दावा है कि ये जो बाकी सामान तुलसा से संबंधित सामान है, चाहे वो फोन हो, लैपटॉप हो, ईयरफोन हो, उनकी जब जब्ती पंचनामा बनाया गया तब गिरिबाला और समर सिंह के साइन लिए गए, लेकिन इस लिगेचर बेल्ट की जब्ती के दौरान साइन नहीं लिए गए। और इस कार्रवाई में कहीं ना कहीं कटारेल्स थाने के सब इंस्पेक्टर दिनेश शर्मा की भूमिका काफी संदिग्ध मानी जा रही है। ये कटारेल्स थाना है जहां पर शुरुआत में इन्वेस्टिगेशन किया गया था, हालांकि बाद में सीबीआई को केस दे दिया गया। तो जो सब इंस्पेक्टर दिनेश शर्मा है उनकी भूमिका इसलिए भी संदिग्ध है कि लिगेचर बेल्ट देरी से पहुंचा, पोस्टमार्टम के बाद पहुंचा। दूसरी बात, जो उसकी निशानदेही होनी थी, वो निशानदेही के बिना जब्ती पंचनामा के ही जो है लिगेचर बेल्ट जो है उसको जब्त किया गया। तो इस पूरे घटनाक्रम में कहीं ना कहीं उनकी भूमिका संदिग्ध है और इसीलिए कई तरह के सवाल खड़े हो रहे हैं। तो ऐसा के जो वकील हैं वो भी सवाल खड़े कर रहे हैं। और अब हमारे पास इनपुट्स हैं कि जो दिनेश शर्मा जी हैं, सर दिनेश शर्मा जी क्या सिक लीव पर है? दिनेश शर्मा जी बीमार हैं, सिक लीव पर है?
ऐसा बताएंगे सर कौन है?
क्या तबीयत खराब है? क्या
मैं बता रहा हूँ। क्यों महाराज?
तो देखिए हम पूछते हैं, सर दिनेश शर्मा जी क्या सिक लीव पर है?
जी हाँ, सिक लीव पे है।
कितने दिन से?
2 दिन।
क्या हुआ उनको?
दस्त पेट।
तो वो अभी थाने नहीं आ रहे?
नहीं आ रहा।
तो देखिए जो थाना स्टाफ है वो भी बता रहे हैं कि दिनेश शर्मा जो है वो फिलहाल सिक लीव पर हैं। अब चूंकि इस पूरे मामले में जैसा कि मैंने कहा कि लिगेचर बेल्ट सबसे महत्वपूर्ण कड़ी है और उसकी जब्ती पंचनामे से लेकर डॉक्टरों के पास तक नहीं पहुंचने में कई लापरवाहियां उजागर हुई हैं, जिसके चलते ही भोपाल पुलिस की जो भूमिका है उस पर सवाल खड़े होते हैं।
All right, now it's time to slip into a short commercial break, but don't go anywhere because we have a lot more lined up coming up after the break. Direct impact of Republic expose on VVIP treatment to Giribala, deputy jailer of Central Bhopal jail removed.
प्यास बुझाए ठंडक लाए सबको भाई जीरा से MTH का जल जीरा जीरा से।
जीरा से असली रिफ्रेशिंग, असली स्वाद, असली मजा।
MTH
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरी राजा,
राजा आरती और मसाला।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच लस्सी और छाछ और
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट, ड्राई फ्रूट और दही बड़े।
चमकी चाट से स्वाद बढ़े।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
I want to start with some very disturbing pictures that have come in of a so-called right-wing leader. His name is Sushil Prajapati. He is accused of rape. After being in jail for 9 months, he gets bail, which means he's still an accused. He's an accused in a rape case. And the case goes back to 2025 when he took an LLB student to one place on the pretext of introducing her to a senior advocate. He drugged her drink and then he sexually assaulted her. He is still under trial for rape. He has not been released. But when he comes out, this rape accused, garlands are put on him as if he's some kind of a hero, as if he's achieved something great. Is a rapist to be celebrated, ladies and gentlemen? I ask you that question. And more than anyone else, I ask the right wing of this country. Very often I come on television and I say, yes, on several issues, I'm happy to be called a right winger. But ladies and gentlemen, let me put it clearly. You cannot let a person like this man, this Sushil Prajapati, a leader of the Hindu Yuva Vahini, a local thug, a man accused of rape, you cannot celebrate his act of rape or celebrate the fact that the rapist is out on bail. If that is the message we want to send to our society, and if all the BJP leaders want to be quiet about it, I want to ask them, why are they quiet about this? Why are they quiet? In the silence of the BJP leaders, is there a tacit support to this person? Is there a feeling that anyone who wears or puts proclaims that he is from a so-called Hindu organization, that he will be allowed to get away with absolutely everything, including an act of rape? Is there a feeling that this man, do right-wingers feel, this man, this accused rapist is one of our own? So hence, regardless of what happens, one of our own should never be accused. It's like all those people, those radical Islamists who say that as long as the act of murder or crime of terrorism is carried out by a Muslim, it must be defended. This very thought, ladies and gentlemen, is completely unacceptable. And we need to make the point more strongly because it's not the first time this has happened. This happened in the case of Bilkis Bano. When in Gujarat, the rapists of Bilkis Bano came out, they were greeted with tikas and sweets. And it was happening openly. This was an act of defiance. A manner of saying, so what? It is a Hindu who carried out the act of rape and hence we will celebrate him, we will forgive the person. Ladies and gentlemen, we are nobody to forgive, and the last thing we should do is celebrate rapists. This was a shameful moment then, this is a shameful moment now. Sengar was another shameful moment when some people said, oh, Sengar is from the BJP and hence he can be seen smiling after carrying out the act of rape, and people would celebrate him and say, no, our leader can do no wrong. That was another shameful moment for the right wing. And ladies and gentlemen, Jayant Sinha, remember, son of Yashwant Sinha, stood there, ladies and gentlemen, and garlanded people accused of lynching. And he had come to my studio and I had told him, Jayant, I think you should be ashamed of what you've done. Because for all the good you will do in your political career, this moment will be the black spot on your career. And therefore, my point is to those who call themselves right-wingers. You cannot be right-wingers, say you're fighting for the right and be supporting lynchers and rapists at the same time. You cannot have this attitude that if you are pro-Hindu, then if someone who is a Hindu or from a Hindu organization commits the most ghastly crime, you will say it's all right because he claims membership of a Hindu organization. Why doesn't the Hindu Yuva Vahini sack and throw out Sushil Prajapati? Why can't they take a stand on issues such as this? Food for thought. Food for thought, ladies and gentlemen, not just for the people who are doing this, but for all of us. In fact, very often I believe the only way to get justice in India is a media trial. So there's no reason for the media, if it's doing a good job of a media trial, to be on the back foot. In fact, the courts should stop making these overarching remarks about media trial and contemplate about one very basic thing. With the greatest of respect to the courts, when the other institutions fail, when people get let down by the system, when even the judiciary does not seem to be listening or raising a noise about issues, like in the case of Twisha Sharma, who does the public look to for justice, for raising their voice, for bringing something that's utterly false, illegal or wrong to public attention? It is only and only the media. And today, therefore, we are doing a media trial in this specific case, ladies and gentlemen, of Twisha Sharma, the 33-year-old daughter-in-law of an ex-judge, in a case where the ex-judge and the ex-judge's advocate's son appear to be more than involved. Ladies and gentlemen, 15 questions tonight. And if they think it's a media trial, so be it. So be it. Why did the ex-judge in the case of Twisha Sharma, neither she nor her son call a police or an ambulance? What took them 57 minutes to bring the body down? Where are the 3 men who are seen in the video dragging Twisha's body, destroying evidence? What was the police doing? Did they question the house staff? Did they question the judge? Was Twisha carrying headphones in her bag, in her hand, or a rope? Where is it now? Where is that so-called belt that cops claim was used by her to commit suicide? Why was it hidden? The mother-in-law, the ex-judge, walks up calmly while the body is being dragged down and evidence is being destroyed before the judge's eyes. Is that normal? Why don't the judges raise a hue and cry about it? Why don't the appellate courts take up this case suo motu? So people don't start believing that when an ex-judge is concerned, the victim will never get justice. Ladies and gentlemen, what was the ex-judge carrying in her hand when she went down? Where is all the CCTV footage? Did the police collect it? Why did the ex-judge's son Samarth Singh escape after bringing the body of his wife to AIIMS? Is it true that the ex-judge's son's medical examination was not conducted? The police station is right behind the ex-judge's Giribala's house. Why was no call made? Why did it take 5 days to file an FIR in the case? Who stalled it? Why was the victim's family attacked in court if there's nothing to hide? And did a very senior police officer go to AIIMS that night to try and fudge the post-mortem report? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm asking these questions. Now I ask you, am I right or wrong in asking these questions? And if I don't, who will? Will the government of Madhya Pradesh raise these questions? The Chief Minister doesn't have 30 seconds to meet the victim's family. Will the higher courts of the country raise these questions? So far, I have not seen this case being picked up by the appellate courts, though we are screaming and shouting about it. So I say tonight, what happens when other institutions fail? And if we do a media trial, should we be celebrated and supported for doing so? Was Aravali a media trial? Yes, it was. It was. Thank God for that. Thank God for that media trial which stopped the Aravalis from being destroyed. Was the Pune Porsche case a media trial where innocents were killed by a rich brat and the whole system colluded to give the rich brat a free run? Was it a media trial? I confess it was. Thank God for it. Thank God for that media trial. Was RG Kaur a media trial? When the government of Mamata Banerjee and the whole system came together to destroy the evidence? Was it? If it was a media trial, I and the entire Republic Bangla team are proud for it. Thank God for that. Thank God for such media trials in our country. Thank God for the media trial in the Jessica Lal murder case. Thank God for the media trial in the Nirbhaya case. Thank God for the media trial in the Sheena Boda murder case. Thank God for the media trial in the Disha Salian murder case. Thank God for the media trial in the Pune Porsche case. Thank God for the media trial in the Sandesh Khali case where Mamata Banerjee stood there and the media made a hue and cry about Sandesh Khali, the mass gang rape of Hindu women before the politicians stepped in. If it was not for a media trial, there would be no expose of Sandesh Khali. And you know what? Thank God for the media trial and the media debate and the media investigation that forced the judge to resign in the cash burning scam, where in the house of a judge in the heart of Lutyens, cash was burning. It made people uncomfortable, the judiciary uncomfortable. Thank God for that media trial. And thank God for the media trial in Aravali, which forced the Supreme Court to retrace the steps of an order which, if implemented, would have been disastrous for society and ecology. Thank God for that media trial. And I say thank God for the ongoing media trial in the Tuisha Sharma case. And I'm ready to challenge anyone who says that media trial is bad. I say when media trial happens for the right reasons, without any malice and only good intent, it's the best thing that can happen in the persistent and constant and unstoppable fight for the truth. I want to start with some very disturbing pictures that have come in of a so-called right-wing leader. His name is Sushil Prajapati. He is accused of rape. After being in jail for 9 months, he gets bail, which means he's still an accused. He's an accused in a rape case. And the case goes back to 2025 when he took an LLB student to one place on the pretext of introducing her to a senior advocate. He drugged her drink and then he sexually assaulted her. He is still under trial for rape. He has not been released. But when he comes out, this rape accused, garlands are put on him as if he's some kind of a hero, as if he's achieved something great. Is a rapist to be celebrated, ladies and gentlemen? I ask you that question. And more than anyone else, I ask the right wing of this country. Very often I come on television and I say, yes, on several issues, I'm happy to be called a right-winger. But ladies and gentlemen, let me put it clearly. You cannot let a person like this man, this Sushil Prajapati, a leader of the Hindu Yuva Vahini, a local thug, a man accused of rape, you cannot celebrate his act of rape or celebrate the fact that the rapist is out on bail. If that is the message we want to send to our society, and if all the BJP leaders want to be quiet about it, I want to ask them, why are they quiet about this? Why are they quiet? In the silence of the BJP leaders, is there a tacit support to this person? Is there a feeling that anyone who wears or puts a, proclaims that he is from a so-called Hindu organization, that he will be allowed to get away with absolutely everything, including an act of rape? Is there a feeling that this man, do right-wingers feel, this man, this accused rapist is one of our own? So hence, regardless of what happens, one of our own should never be accused. It's like all those people, those radical Islamists who say that as long as the act of murder or crime of terrorism is carried out by a Muslim, it must be defended. This very thought, ladies and gentlemen, is completely unacceptable. And we need to make the point more strongly because it's not the first time this has happened. This happened in the case of Bilkis Bano. When in Gujarat, the rapists of Bilkis Bano came out, they were greeted with tikas and sweets. And it was happening openly. This was an act of defiance. A manner of saying, so what? It is a Hindu who carried out the act of rape, and hence we will celebrate him, we will forgive the person. Ladies and gentlemen, we are nobody to forgive, and the last thing we should do is celebrate rapists. This was a shameful moment then, this is a shameful moment now. Sengar was another shameful moment when some people said, oh, Sengar is from the BJP, and hence he can be seen smiling after carrying out the act of rape, and people would celebrate him and say, no, our leader can do no wrong. That was another shameful moment for the right wing. And ladies and gentlemen, Jayant Sinha, remember, son of Yashwant Sinha, stood there, ladies and gentlemen, and garlanded people accused of lynching. And he had come to my studio and I had told him, Jayant, I think you should be ashamed of what you've done. Because for all the good you will do in your political career, this moment will be the black spot on your career. And therefore, my point is to those who call themselves right-wingers. You cannot be right-wingers, say you're fighting for the right, and be supporting lynchers and rapists at the same time. You cannot have this attitude that if you are pro-Hindu, then if someone who is a Hindu or from a Hindu organization commits the most ghastly crime, you will say it's all right because he claims membership of a Hindu organization. Why doesn't the Hindu Yuva Vahini sack and throw out Sushil Prajapati? Why can't they take a stand on issues such as this? Food for thought. Food for thought, ladies and gentlemen, not just for the people who are doing this, but for all of us. In fact, very often I believe the only way to get justice in India is a media trial. So there's no reason for the media, if it's doing a good job of a media trial, to be on the back foot. In fact, the courts should stop making these overarching remarks about media trial and contemplate about one very basic thing. With the greatest of respect to the courts, when the other institutions fail, when people get let down by the system, when even the judiciary does not seem to be listening or raising a noise about issues, like in the case of Twisha Sharma, who does the public look to for justice, for raising their voice, for bringing something that's utterly false, illegal or wrong to public attention? It is only and only the media. And today, therefore, we are doing a media trial in this specific case, ladies and gentlemen, of Twisha Sharma, the 33-year-old daughter-in-law of an ex-judge, in a case where the ex-judge and the ex-judge's advocate son appear to be more than involved. Ladies and gentlemen, 15 questions tonight. And if they think it's a media trial, so be it. So be it. Why did the ex-judge in the case of Twisha Sharma, neither she nor her son call a police or an ambulance? What took them 57 minutes to bring the body down? Where are the 3 men who are seen in the video dragging Twisha's body, destroying evidence. What was the police doing? Did they question the house staff? Did they question the judge? Was Twisha carrying headphones in her bag, in her hand, or a rope? Where is it now? Where is that so-called belt that cops claim was used by her to commit suicide? Why was it hidden? The mother-in-law, the ex-judge, walks up calmly while the body is being dragged down and evidence is being destroyed before the judge's eyes. Is that normal? Why don't the judges raise a hue and cry about it? Why don't the appellate courts take up this case suo motu? So people don't start believing that when an ex-judge is concerned, the victim will never get justice. Ladies and gentlemen, what was the ex-judge carrying in her hand when she went down? Where is all the CCTV footage? Did the police collect it? Why did the ex-judge's son Samarth Singh escape after bringing the body of his wife to AIIMS? Is it true?
Our pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
In the global employability rankings by Times Higher Education UK, only the following 6 institutions from India are ranked amongst the top 230 in the world for having the most employable graduates. IIT Delhi, IISc Bangalore, IIT Bombay, IIM Ahmedabad, IIT Kharagpur and Amity University.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है? आलू चाट या फ्रूट चाट? स्वाद बनाए चमकी चाट।
क्या बात है? स्वादिष्ट पकोड़े और फरसान, अरे चमकी चाट है इसकी जान।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
In fact, very often I believe the only way to get justice in India is a media trial. So there's no reason for the media, if it's doing a good job of a media trial, to be on the back foot. In fact, the courts should stop making these overarching remarks about media trial and contemplate about one very basic thing. With the greatest of respect to the courts, when the other institutions fail, when people get let down by the system, when even the judiciary does not seem to be listening or raising a noise about issues, like in the case of Twisha Sharma, who does the public look to for justice, for raising their voice, for bringing something that's utterly false, illegal or wrong to public attention? It is only and only the media. And today, therefore, we are doing a media trial in this specific case, ladies and gentlemen, of Twisha Sharma, the 33-year-old daughter-in-law of an ex-judge, in a case where the ex-judge and the ex-judge's advocate's son appear to be more than involved. Ladies and gentlemen, 15 questions tonight. And if they think it's a media trial, so be it. So be it. Why did the ex-judge in the case of Twisha Sharma, neither she nor her son call a police or an ambulance? What took them 57 minutes to bring the body down?
सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा हार्डवेयर मसाला।
यानी इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रुंगटा स्टील टीएमटी से बना।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील टीएमटी बार एकदम सॉलिड।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच लस्सी और छाछ।
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। अब बताओ स्वाद आया?
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा।
I want to start with some very disturbing pictures that have come in of a so-called right-wing leader. His name is...
That we are getting about POK and the protests which are happening and the reaction, the global backlash that it's getting. The Pakistan is facing global backlash over POK violence. And this time 50 UK MPs write to Pakistan over the massacre which is happening in POK. Now, protests are also happening at various places, not just in Pakistan. Protests in front of the Pak consulate in UK also. British MPs have expressed concerns, and 50 UK MPs have written to the Pak government also, to their government also, and this is because of the government crackdown, the violent crackdown in which many died. Now, let's listen into the audio of the protests which are happening as we speak in POK. All right, so these are anti-Pakistan protests which are happening in Pak-occupied Kashmir, which is part of India. And these protests are happening right now because they are protesting against the crackdown, the violence for the economy of that region, because these are the protests which are happening not just against the government, but also against Asim Munir, anti-Munir protests in POK as we speak. Now, let's go on to Gursimran. Gursimran joins us for with all the latest that's happening inside POK. Gursimran, coming to you. Many UK MPs have written to Pakistan over the massacre which happened in POK, but Pakistan also has reacted, and it's acting delusional of what's happening in Pakistan. He clearly understands that they have done a violent crackdown against the peaceful protesters.
Yes, it was on 6th of June when the MPs from the United Kingdom wrote to the Pakistan and wrote to their foreign secretary regarding the situation that is prevailing in Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. And the Pakistan's foreign ministry was quick to react, because these are the issues they love to react when the truth is said, and then they try to divert from the issue. They termed it as an internal matter and asked people not to meddle in its internal issues. Now coming to the situation on ground, the situation on ground is going out of hands for the Pakistan administration. Reason being that the call that has been given by the Joint Awami Action Committee, that has garnered the expected results. The people in thousands are thronging to the roads of Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. First to Rawalakot, then to Poonch, and then to Muzaffarabad. These three are the targets of the people that are carrying out the long march. And this long march is completely focusing on bringing the Pakistani administration on the knees. First and the foremost demand continues to be the non-locals being given the MLA seats in the Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir Assembly, the elections for which is going to be held in the month of July, 27th of July, when the elections will take place. Now, the committee that was formed that said that the elected MLAs can amend this. But what the Jammu and Kashmir Awami Action Committee, the Joint Awami Action Committee is demanding that it should be done immediately with the amendment whatsoever is required, so that when the fresh elections are taken place, this is done away with and the people get their own representative, which is one of their valid demands. Apart from this, the subsidized food grains is also their demand. Also, their demand continues to be that their resources may not be misused by the Pakistani administration, and those people who are the actual owners of these resources, they be given the due share apart from the atrocities that are being committed by the Pakistani armed forces. But as we speak, several clashes are taking place. The Bhimber clashes have led to 9 serious injuries to the protesters. So far, if we speak of the official number, 8 civilian casualties and 4 casualties to the forces have been reported, while the Jammu and Kashmir Awami Action Committee under the banner of JAC, they have said that 27 people have been killed in the protests that have taken so far. So the long march is now gaining momentum, which is making it really very difficult for the Shehbaz Sharif government to control the situation. Even we saw that Raja Rathod, who happens to be the Prime Minister of Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, he even said that we are ready for talks in a major which is seen as in panic. He has said so because the situation is now going out of their hands.
Yeah, completely going out of their hands, and also because everything has come out in open also, Gursimran, and that's also the reality. Their economy is not under their control. The law and order situation is not under their control. And this is not the first violent crackdown against protesters in that region, specifically if we talk about the Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, which is supposedly part of India. Now, what exactly are the demands, apart from the demands of the representation which have been made by the protesters in this case, JAC in this case, apart from that, about economy, about jobs, and a lot more, and the corruption that is prevalent in Pakistan?
See, these protests, they have made it very sure, and they have sent a message to the global community that all is not well in Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, despite the fact that in every platform Pakistan tries to portray that they have given a full freedom to the people of Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. These protests that are taking place, they have sent a clear-cut warning that, see, all is not well in POK and the people are being deprived of their basic rights. The statement, the audio message that has been released a couple of hours ago by Shaukat Nawaz Mir, in which he has completely told the Pakistani army, especially Field Marshal Asim Munir, in no mincing words that don't term us as terrorists. We are the people of POJK who are seeking our rights. So it was a deliberate attempt. We saw when the order came from the Home Department of POJK, terming this group Jammu and Kashmir Awami Action Committee under the banner of Joint Action Awami Committee as a terror group for their involvement in the terror acts, which has not been proved till date. So that was what the POK people have been able to send a message to the global community. See, we are being labeled a terrorist only for the reason that we are demanding our rights to be fulfilled, and the so-called democracy that the Pakistan claims is in POJK, it is only their people that are being installed at the ministerial post outside from the POJK.
All right, yeah, thanks Gursimran for all the latest details. Now let's go back to the audio. Let's listen into what's happening on ground. All right, viewers, so these were the visuals of how the Pakistani security forces were directly shooting towards the crowd, the peaceful protesters who were being shot at. It's time to slip into a short commercial break, but don't go anywhere because we have a lot more lined up coming up after the break. Direct impact of Republic expose on VVIP treatment to Giribala, deputy jailer of Central Bhopal jail removed. Zepto's business model, foreign investment under ED scanner, co-founder Adit Palicha reportedly questioned by ED under FEMA.
Our pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है
सैंडविच लस्सी और छाछ
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट ड्राई फ्रूट और दही बड़े
चमकी चाट से स्वाद बढ़े
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट.
In fact, very often I believe the only way to get justice in India is a media trial. So there's no reason for the media, if it's doing a good job of a media trial, to be on the back foot. In fact, the courts should stop making these overarching remarks about media trial and contemplate about one very basic thing. With the greatest of respect to the courts, when the other institutions fail, when people get let down by the system, when even the judiciary does not seem to be listening or raising a noise about issues, like in the case of Twisha Sharma, who does the public look to for justice, for raising their voice, for bringing something that's utterly false, illegal or wrong to public attention? It is only and only the media. And today, therefore, we are doing a media trial in this specific case, ladies and gentlemen, of Twisha Sharma, the 33-year-old daughter-in-law of an ex-judge, in a case where the ex-judge and the ex-judge's advocate's son appear to be more than involved. Ladies and gentlemen.
From Asia's largest news headquarters
setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Good afternoon, viewers. You're watching Republic TV and I am Rakshita Mishra with you. Let's get you a quick check of the headlines that we've been tracking for you all day long. The direct impact of Republic expose on the VIP treatment to Giribala Singh, Deputy Jailer of Central Bhopal Jail, removed. Republic was the only channel to report on the VVIP treatment to Giribala Singh, and now action follows. Deputy Jailer Jaya Yadav removed. Massive anti-Pakistan rallies across Pakistan-occupied Kashmir led by JAAC. Thousands mobilized for protest against the violent crackdowns in the 12-seat reservation. Anti-Pakistan and anti-Munir protests in POK. 27 killed in firing and more than 200 injured by Pakistani Rangers as per the Joint Awami Action Committee. Zepto's business model, foreign investment under ED scanner. Co-founder Adit Palicha reportedly questioned by the ED under FEMA. Viewers, we start with the breaking news coming in right now. This is in connection with the company Zepto. Now, there's ED lens on, or rather, I could say that's ED heat right now. Okay, we have some breaking news right now coming in from Pakistan viewers. I think this is in connection with the POK protests. So, Pakistani forces have opened fire at the protesters in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. 9 protesters have been injured in this shelling by Pakistani forces. That's the breaking news we have right now. Pakistan forces opened fire amid widespread protests in the Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, and that's the breaking news we have right now. Viewers, there have been several who have been injured also. In fact, viewers, there were reports of even we have reports also coming in. There could be fatalities also. We have Gursimran Singh joining us live on the broadcast for more. Gursimran, tell us more details. The Pakistani forces have been injured by the shelling, by Pakistani forces also. Gursimran.
Yes, Rakshita, you have rightly mentioned that the atrocities of the Pakistani armed forces continue on the civilians in Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. This time in the Bhimber area of the Bagh district of Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, when the locals gathered to head towards the long march.
So there are the visuals we are getting in right now. First and exclusive on Republic TV. This is the firing. It's on camera. Asim Munir cannot deny this. The world is watching what is happening in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. What is Pakistan doing in Kashmir? And this is, viewers, another example of the atrocities against civilians by the Pakistani forces, as in Balochistan, as in Gilgit-Baltistan, and then what we have as in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and now in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. You see, these are the Pakistani forces, Pak Rangers, and the policemen, and these are Pak Army personnel, also Gursimran Singh. Gusimran, we are watching how Pakistani Rangers are they're firing firing upon the protesters. There is shelling and they're beating them mercilessly.
Yes, Rakshita, you have rightly mentioned, and these visuals that are coming out from Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, this holds the slogan that the people of POJK used to say, "Ye jo dahshatgardi hai, iske piche vardi hai," true, because it is the Pakistani armed forces that are behind this incidents of the targeting the civilians, the atrocities that are being committed upon them. And what is common between both the Kashmirs, the Kashmir which is the part of India and the Kashmir which is illegal part of Kashmir, that it is the Pakistan that is responsible for terrorism. Here in Jammu and Kashmir, Pakistan is pushing the terrorists, while in Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, this terrorism is of the Vardiwala terrorism that is being witnessed now by the people of POJK, because it was a peaceful march that was called by the Joint Awami Action Committee. Desperate attempts were made since 4th of June by the Pakistan and administration, the federal government, as well as the ruling dispensation in Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, led by Raja Mumtaz Rathod. But when they failed, first they came out with the order that is banning this group, Joint Action Awami Committee. What the reason was given, that they were involved in the terrorism. Never has been in the history of Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir that they have been involved in any of the acts of terror, because we have seen starting from 2023 to 2024 May to 2025 September and now to the 2026 June. Never had been a case when they were found indulged in any of the terror activities, but they were blamed and banned as a terror group. Then there was an internet clampdown so that world does not know. Now Pakistan has failed on the two fronts. First is that they have failed, the Pakistani army has failed to contain the situation, and second is Pakistan has failed to hide what is happening on ground from the world community, because now the videos are out, the reality is coming out, and the global community is witnessing what is happening, and that was the sole reason.
Absolutely, this is again a proof of how Pakistan uses brute force against the people they in fact claim to rule on illegally, and this is what is happening, viewers. This is brute force that is unleashed on the protesters, on people of Kashmir, and you see that how this country, viewers, is known for a record of human rights violation. And this has been time and again highlighted at the UNSC by India. In the latest, just 2 to 3 days ago, we had Mr. Parvata Neni, who is India's envoy to the UN. He has also highlighted the record of Pakistanis, and Pakistan should stop raking up Kashmir in UNSC. And in fact, the world should see and condemn collectively the terrorism it sponsors and breeds and unleashes. And this is the human rights violation it is actually known for. And this is what even US should look at when it goes and visits these Asim Munis and invites them for dinners or feeding them free lunches. This is the proof of Pakistani brute force, of Pakistan's human rights violation, how pellet guns are fired, how in fact there is, you can see the lathi charge, brutal lathi charge, there is firing also, there is shelling that you can see that is happening against these people. You can see this is there are some visuals that have come from the Bhimbar region. At least 27, JAC says at least 27 have been killed. Now British MPs, 50 British MPs have also written to the to Pakistan government, and there's nothing for the Pakistan government. We all know the de facto ruler Asim Munir. He is the one who is unleashing this terror on the people who they claim to be theirs, who they aren't, what they illegally occupied. This land that they have illegally occupied is where you see this mayhem. You can see the dance of death as caught on camera. The revolt is out in the open. They might try to hide this. They can stop the internet there, but we have this on our screens. And the world is watching this. You just see the park rangers, how they are unleashing the bullets. They run away themselves also. They are dragging one protester. You can see them, how he's being beaten up. He's also fighting back, by the way. Just see how he's fighting back. There's anger amongst the people of POK. These are protesters who are fed up, who are done with this illegally occupying force, that is the Pakistanis, the Pakistani Rangers, and they are unrelenting now. They are not scared and they are fighting back.
मौजूद है साथियों दोस्तों मैं आपसे अर्ज करता चलूं कि इन जालिमों ने इन जाबरों ने जो मुजफ्फराबाद के अंदर बैठे हुए हैं उन्होंने पाकिस्तान से फोर्सेस मंगवाई हमें कदर दहशतगर्द मौजूद है साथियों दोस्तों
ये जी आवाम पे शेलिंग की जा रही है ये फोर्सेस के हाथ से ये जी आवाम पे शेलिंग की जा रही है ये फोर्सेस के हाथ से ये जी आवाम पे शेलिंग की जा रही है ये फोर्सेस के हाथ से ये जी आवाम पे शेलिंग की जा रही है ये फोर्सेस के हाथ से
We have former DGP of Jammu and Kashmir, Mr. SP Ware, joining us on the broadcast. Sir, thank you so much for joining us on Republic TV. Sir, this is a proof of how Pakistan unleashes brute force on civilians, on protesters, on those who are unarmed. And this is Asim Munir's forces, which the world is seeing how they are violating human rights, how they are firing on the protesters, and the people of POK are fed up. They are done with this illegally occupying force, that is the Pakistani army in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, sir.
Absolutely. This is Jallianwala Bagh moment of Pakistan. Asim Munir is acting like General Dyer, asking his armed forces to shoot on the civilian unarmed people who are protesting peacefully. After all, what are they demanding? कि आटा सस्ता कर दिया जाए, बिजली सस्ती कर दी जाए. They are asking कि we need food items. A lot of inflation is there, cheaper at cheaper rates. So electricity which is produced in POK is sent to Punjab, and they are asking uske rate slice kariye, to slice down kariye. So what are they asking? They democratically they are protesting, and how the armed forces are treating them. The Pakistan Rangers, and I'm surprised that the Pakistan's narrative is blown off. Pakistan has been always last 78 years saying the Kashmir, Jammu Kashmir, which is with India, there is a violation of human rights. And what about what is happening now in POJK? People had enough of. I think people of POJK had enough of Pakistan illegally occupied. These people have illegally occupied their area. They want to get rid of this Pakistan army and the deep state, the ISI. And I'm surprised the leadership of Kashmir, which has been, and also across India, which has been crying hoarse about what is happening in Gaza and Iran. They are not speaking even one word about what is happening with their own people. After all, POJK is part of Maharaja's erstwhile Jammu and Kashmir, and they are our own people, and how these Pakistan army is killing them. And look at the Pakistan government declares the Joint Action Committee as terrorist, and the actual terrorist, the Hafiz Sayyid and Azhar Masood, they are treating like guests and using against India. And these people, the Joint Action Committee consists of what? The students' body, the lawyers, the trade body. They are social religious organizations, and they are being labeled as terrorists. And actual terrorists which are globally designated, the Pakistan is feeding them in their backyard and using against India and the rest of the world. Ji.
Absolutely, sir. And don't you think that it is now even the world should speak up, because there are these surveys that come out, these so-called human rights, these reports that come out, particularly from the United States. Why they keep shut when something happens in POK or Balochistan? They never mention that. And in fact, these Asim Munirs and Shehbaz Sharifs are brought and are invited over free lunches.
The hypocrisy of these organizations is quite open now, and they always speak the other language when it is Pakistan involved, because Pakistan is it serves their interests. So I think the less we talk of international organizations, the better it is. They have exposed themselves. We saw how they behaved when the Bangladeshis, in Bangladesh, the minorities were being targeted. How these International Human Rights Commission and the United Nations behaved. So everyone in the world saw that.
Right, sir. Appreciate you joining us, Mr. SPV. Thank you so much for joining us with your thoughts on this big implosion, in fact, that's happening in Pakistan. We continue to track more updates. We also have Irfan Sadozai, Pakistani journalist, joining us on the broadcast for more. Mr. Sadozai, what we are witnessing right now are dramatic scenes, and these are heart-wrenching scenes. The way unarmed protesters are met with brute force by the Pakistani Rangers, by the Pakistani forces. It first of all shows that how they're trying their best to, control and contain a rebellion that was always in the offing for a long, long time. They have been frustrated by the Pakistani illegally occupying force, and now it is, I think, it is the brim, and it has crossed all limits now.
Thank you very much for taking me. And first of all, Azad Jammu and Kashmir is a very peaceful region, and this unfortunate scenes, which you are showing on screen.
It is not Azad, sir. It is occupied Kashmir, sir. Thank you. Please continue.
This may be your state narrative, but we consider it as an
no,
Azad
sir. We
Kashmir,
should go back in history, sir. You can brush up your history lessons, sir. Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Okay, but it's an Azad Jammu and Kashmir state.
No, sir. दिख रहा है आजाद है, आपको दिख रहा है आजाद है ये आजादी होती है, आजाद बोलते हो ना आप, आजादी दिख रही है आपको?
ये बहुत ही एक अनफॉर्चुनेट सीन हुआ है. अगर आप यूएन रेजोल्यूशन
बहुत टाइम से, सर, it's been happening since long. This is not आजादी, sir. This is not आजादी. You have illegally occupied it. Pakistan has illegally occupied. At least condemn it now.
ये बिल्कुल काबिल मुजम्मत नहीं है. यहाँ पे कुछ लोग हैं जो स्टेट के अगेंस्ट खड़े हुए हैं. आप इसको इंडियन ऑक्युपाइड कश्मीर से बिल्कुल भी इसका मुवाजना नहीं कर सकते. अगर आप यूएन रेजोल्यूशंस देखेंगे तो वहाँ आपकी पोजीशन बहुत ही वीक है. आप खुद इस इशू को यूएन रेजोल्यूशन में लेके गए हैं और वहाँ पे उससे आपने बैकआउट किया है. लेकिन ये जो लोग हैं जो इस वक्त डिमांड्स कर रहे हैं,
किसी ने कुछ बैकआउट नहीं किया. आपके फोर्सेस वहाँ पर हैं, आपके फोर्सेस ने ऑक्युपाई कर रखा है. Can you just also talk about the blackout that has happened, the communication blackout, sir? Occupation उसको कहते हैं, brute force उसको कहते हैं. Khair, let's talk about the situation, sir. What are you understanding by your sources? What is happening on ground? What are the demands that have been put up by the protesters?
I believe you must be aware of the history of this incident. This is very unfortunate, and couple of days back, there were some insurgents. They were in, Rawalakot in Poonch district, and they just stood against the forces, and they just wanted to spoil the law and order situation. But the security forces of Pakistan, they just went there, they just controlled everything, and just for the preemptive measures, they just, they did not make it functional. The internet, rest of the things are okay. Transport is moving, roads are very much open, and hospitals, schools are open. But the traders, they have just shown some sort of,
I'm sorry, I have to interrupt you there, Mr. Irfan. You said that these are miscreants. Sir, there have been 27 people killed, broad daylight. They have been killed, sir. And firing and brute force that is being unleashed, it's on camera.
They just challenged the writ of the government of Pakistan. Only 3 civilians, they were shot dead, and 3 police officers, 3 police personnel, and 1 guy from the Rangers, they died, and the total number is 7. Please don't exaggerate it. So So things are quite normal, in all three divisions, Mirpur division, Muzaffarabad and Poonch division. Poonch division is a bit more sensitive, as you must be aware of its history. The incident took place here. But, there is not complete shutter down. I mean, shops are open, but people are moving very freely. And I believe that things would get settled down because, there are some people, who belong to different, sects of life. They have just stepped forward to just normalize the situation, and they are just playing the role of bridge between government and this action committee. They had demanded 38 points, as their rights, and government of Azad Kashmir and action committee, both they have reached on 36 points. I mean, both they had agreed on it, and there were 2 points on which they could not agree. And I believe that if they could sit on the table, they would reach to a conclusion.
There are at least there are several MPs from UK who have also written to the government, to your government also, to Pakistan also, and there are protests that are happening on the streets of London outside the Pakistan High Commission also. There are slogans that are raised against the state, against ISI also in POK, outside POK.
कुछ सिंपैथीज तो इनकी ओवरसीज में रहेंगी. खालिस्तान के लोग जैसे बाहर प्रोटेस्ट करते हैं, आपके कान के ऊपर जू नहीं रेंगती, आपने you never took it serious. So similarly there may be some sort of support in overseas, but genuinely they are not aware of the situation right now in Azad Kashmir. Things are very much normal, and I believe that they would.
All right, I think we have lost that connection. I think there's some problem with the network. I think his network is also being, I don't know, curtailed by the government. I don't know. But Irfan Sadozai, thank you for joining us. But we continue to show the world the reality, no matter what cover-up Pakistani forces might try to do, or Pakistani media might try to do, but it's in front of the world. What is happening, the human rights violation? You can see this man who was running, he was not even armed, and he is fired upon time and again, he is fired upon. And this is the human rights violation that is once again from 1971 to 2026, what is happening, what Pakistan forces do, what Pakistan army does, it's on record. And today, no one can stop it. It's from UK to India, everybody can see that. In fact, it's a global backlash, viewers, and we have more breaking news coming in this regard. Viewers. There's global backlash against POK violence. 50 UK MPs have written to Pakistan over massacre in POK, and these are there's an entire list, viewers, because this has been raised in outside the Pakistani High Commission, also in London today, and there were scenes that are unprecedented. We've never seen Kashmir rising this way. We've seen it many a times for a long time. It's been simmering. The situation has been on the boil, but it is now exploding. Gursimran Singh joins us for more. Gursimran, 50 UK MPs are writing to Pakistan, and there's a global backlash. And now Pakistan can try blackouts, can try whitewashing, can use US, whatever they can do, but it is all on camera. And now even the lawmakers in United Kingdom are raising their voice and writing to the Pakistanis.
That's what, Rakshit, I was saying, that the Pakistani army, which is the actual ruler of Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, they have failed on both the fronts. First front is to contain the situation in Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, be it with negotiations or with the danda they have used. They have completely failed. And second is the international narrative. By switching off the internet, complete internet services on the 6th evening, that is starting from 7th morning, there has been a complete internet clampdown. And the sole reason was to stop this protest from reaching the global arena. But Pakistan has completely failed to do so, because the people of POJK, they have shown the world that what is happening there on the ground. Small videos, 30-second videos that have come out from POJK has completely exposed Pakistan, and that is the sole reason that 15 MPs of the United Kingdom, they came out in open. And this is just a starting number. Many of the councillors have also returned to the Foreign Secretary of the United Kingdom to take up the issue with the Pakistan, and that's why yesterday we saw the retired Minister of Foreign Affairs of Pakistan came out and said that, see, all is well here. It is only a group of people that have already been designated as a terror group that are carrying out march, and there is nothing public participation. But today the videos that are coming from the Bhimber, from Kotli, from Bagh, Plandri, all these videos show.
All right, these are the live visuals, latest visuals coming in. Viewers from Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. This is another protest rally. They are unrelenting. Even if they are risking their lives, they are ready to face the brute force. They're ready to face the bullets, but they're out on the streets. This is a bike rally in protest against the Pakistan-occupied Kashmir force, against Asim Munir. And this is another example of how the people of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir are unrelenting, and they are not going to give up on their demands. Viewers, with that, we're slipping into a very, very short break, but we continue to bring you the reality from ground zero. Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, anti-Pakistan and anti-Munir protests erupt. 27 killed in firing, more than 200 injured by Pakistani Rangers, as per the joint Awami Action Committee.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है? आलू चाट या फ्रूट चाट? स्वाद बनाए चमकी चाट।
क्या बात है? स्वादिष्ट पकोड़े और परेशान, अरे चमकी चाट है इसकी जान।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
In the global employability rankings by Times Higher Education UK, only the following 6 institutions from India are ranked amongst the top 230 in the world for having the most employable graduates. IIT Delhi, IISc Bangalore, IIT Bombay, IIM Ahmedabad, IIT Kharagpur and Amity University.
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा हार्डकोर मसाला।
प्यास बुझाए ठंडक लाए सबको भाई जीरा सिप, MTH का जलजीरा जीरा सिप।
जीरा सिप, असली रिफ्रेशिंग, असली स्वाद, असली मजा।
I want to start with some very disturbing pictures that have come in of a so-called right-wing leader. His name is Sushil Prajapati. He is accused of rape. After being in jail for 9 months, he gets bail, which means he's still an accused. He's an accused in a rape case. And the case goes back to 2025 when he took an LLB student to one place on the pretext of introducing her to a senior advocate. He drugged her drink and then he sexually assaulted her. He is still under trial for rape. He has not been released. But when he comes out, this rape accused, garlands are put on him as if he's some kind of a hero, as if he's achieved something great. Is a rapist to be celebrated, ladies and gentlemen? I ask you that question. And more than anyone else, I ask the right wing of this country. Very often I come on television and I say, yes, on several issues, I'm happy to be called a right winger. But ladies and gentlemen,
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद ये ही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है, अरे मेरी राजा।
सबका राजा आर्थिक मसाला, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच लस्सी और छाछ।
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। अब बताओ स्वाद आया?
आया।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी every day.
In fact, very often I believe the only way to get justice in India is a media trial. So there's no reason for the media, if it's doing a good job of a media trial, to be on the back foot. In fact, the courts should stop making these overarching remarks about media trial and contemplate about one very basic thing. With the greatest of respect to the courts, when the other institutions fail, when people get let down by the system, when even the judiciary does not seem to be listening or raising a noise about issues, like in the case of Twisha Sharma. Who does the public look to for justice? for raising their voice, for bringing something that's utterly false, illegal or wrong to public attention. It is only and only the media. And today, therefore, we are doing a media trial in this specific case, ladies and gentlemen, of Twisha Sharma, the 33-year-old daughter-in-law of an ex-judge, in a case where the ex-judge and the ex-judge's advocate.
Hello and a very warm welcome. You're watching Republic TV. I'm Gesu Bhardwaj, and we have lots lined up for you, especially the protests that remain relentless in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, with multiple fatalities and injuries reported. Getting you all the details, a check on your headlines first. Anti-Pakistan and anti-Munir protests in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. 27 killed in firing and over 200 injured by Pakistani Rangers, as per the Joint Awami Action Committee. Pakistan faces global backlash over massacre in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. 50 UK MPs write to the Pakistani government. Direct impact of Republic expose on VVIP treatment of ex-judge Giri Bala, deputy jailer of Central Bhopal jail, removed. Republic was the only channel to report on the VVIP treatment for ex-judge Giri Bala, and now action follows. Deputy jailer Jaya Yadav has been removed. Zepto's business model, foreign investment under ED scanner. Co-founder Adit Palicha reportedly questioned by ED under the FEMA Act. Viewers, now starting first with a campaign that Republic has relentlessly reported on. Republic questions the role of police in Twisha Sharma's case cover-up. In fact, police officers are now under scanner, and the one that was under scanner is now also gone on a sick leave. Republic questions officers at police stations that remain under scanner, and questions are also being raised over the role of the sub-inspector Dinesh Sharma. Now, officers have told Republic exclusively that SI Dinesh Sharma is now on leave, and that he is the officer who is under scanner in Twisha cover-up case. But why has he been given a leave is a big question. In fact, my colleague Satya Vijay also gets you more details from Ground Zero. Take a look.
ट्विशा शर्मा संदिग्ध मौत मामले में शुरुआत से ही भोपाल पुलिस की लापरवाहियां उजागर हुई हैं, और इस मामले में सबसे अहम कड़ी वो लिगेचर बेल्ट जिससे कि ट्विशा ने फांसी लगाई, ये बताया गया, उसकी जब्ती में भी बड़ी लापरवाहियां हुई हैं। सबसे पहली लापरवाही की अगर बात करें तो जब फर्स्ट पीएम हुआ था उस समय उस लिगेचर बेल्ट को डॉक्टरों के पास नहीं भेजा गया। सेकंड पीएम हुआ तब भी लिगेचर बेल्ट को डॉक्टरों के पास नहीं भेजा गया। और इससे बड़ी लापरवाही ये है कि ये जो लिगेचर बेल्ट है इसकी जब्ती के दौरान किसी की निशानदेही नहीं ली गई। मतलब किसी के सामने, ऐसा ट्विशा शर्मा के वकीलों का दावा है कि ये जो बाकी सामान ट्विशा से संबंधित सामान है, चाहे वो फोन हो, लैपटॉप हो, ईयरफोन हो, उनकी जब जब्ती पंचनामा बनाया गया तब गिरिबाला और समर सिंह के साइन लिए गए, लेकिन इस लिगेचर बेल्ट की जब्ती के दौरान साइन नहीं लिए गए। और इस कार्रवाई में कहीं ना कहीं कटारेल्स थाने के सब इंस्पेक्टर दिनेश शर्मा की भूमिका काफी संदिग्ध मानी जा रही है। ये कटारेल्स थाना है जहां पर शुरुआत में इन्वेस्टिगेशन किया गया था, हालांकि बाद में सीबीआई को केस दे दिया गया। तो जो सब इंस्पेक्टर दिनेश शर्मा है उनकी भूमिका इसलिए भी संदिग्ध है कि लिगेचर बेल्ट देरी से पहुंचा, पोस्टमार्टम के बाद पहुंचा। दूसरी बात, जो उसकी निशानदेही होनी थी वो निशानदेही के बिना जब्ती पंचनामा के ही जो है लिगेचर बेल्ट जो है उसको जब्त किया गया। तो इस पूरे घटनाक्रम में कहीं ना कहीं उनकी भूमिका संदिग्ध है, और इसीलिए कई तरह के सवाल खड़े हो रहे हैं। तो ट्विशा के जो वकील हैं वो भी सवाल खड़े कर रहे हैं, और अब हमारे पास इनपुट्स है कि जो दिनेश शर्मा जी हैं, सर दिनेश शर्मा जी क्या सिक लीव पर है? दिनेश शर्मा जी बीमार हैं, सिक लीव पर है?
ऐसा बताएंगे सब कहाँ है?
यहाँ तबियत खराब है क्या?
मैं पता कर बता रहा हूँ। क्यों महाराज?
तो देखिए हम पूछते हैं सर, दिनेश शर्मा जी क्या सिक लीव पर है?
जी हाँ, सिक लीव पे है।
कितने दिन से?
2 दिन।
क्या हुआ उनको?
दस्त, पेट।
तो वो अभी थाने नहीं आ रहे?
नहीं आ रहे।
तो देखिए जो थाना स्टाफ है वो भी बता रहे हैं कि दिनेश शर्मा जो है वो फिलहाल सिक लीव पर हैं। अब चूंकि इस पूरे मामले में जैसा कि मैंने कहा कि लिगेचर बेल्ट सबसे महत्वपूर्ण कड़ी है और उसकी जब्ती पंचनामे से लेकर डॉक्टरों के पास तक नहीं पहुंचने में कई लापरवाहियां उजागर हुई हैं, जिसके चलते ही भोपाल पुलिस की जो भूमिका है उस पर सवाल खड़े होते हैं।
And now viewers, shifting focus to what's been happening in West Bengal. Eggs and tomatoes were hurled at TMC leader Sabyasachi Datta. Now locals and protesters hurled eggs and tomatoes at Sabyasachi Datta's vehicle. In fact, he's also to be produced in the Bidhan Nagar court later today. In fact, that's the latest that we're getting in, and this is over charges of extortion and also criminal intimidation. Remember, just today morning he was arrested, and while that was happening, eggs and tomatoes were hurled at the TMC leader Sabyasachi Datta's vehicles. Locals and protesters gathered. Those are the visuals of the TMC leader being completely heckled, and this is a reminder, a stark reminder to what also happened to Bhaipo Abhishek Banerjee just a few weeks ago on the streets of West Bengal. So people are now taking onto the streets of West Bengal, and this has become an established order where they are showing their anger against TMC leaders as police action continues against the Trinamool Congress leaders in West Bengal. Eggs and tomatoes hurled at TMC leader Sabyasachi Datta's vehicles as he was being taken away by the police. In fact, he's also all set to be produced in the court later today, and this is over charges of extortion and criminal intimidation. Now viewers, shifting focus to another breaking development. In a Republic super exclusive, we've accessed exclusive details on the Zepto controversy where co-founder Kaivalya Vora appeared before the ED on the 17th and the 22nd of April. Now even the founder Adit Palicha was questioned by ED on the 20th of April and the 15th of May. Now in fact, ED has asked Zepto, the quick e-commerce company, to furnish details of foreign investment details that was sought as part of the FEMA proceedings against Zepto. So Republic has now accessed exclusive information about Zepto controversy. In fact, the co-founder Kaivalya Vora has appeared in front of the ED on 2 dates before, that's April 17th and the 22nd. In fact, not just that, the founder Adit Palicha also under ED lens. He was questioned by the ED on 20th of April and the 15th of May, and this is just before the IPO is going to be made public as the marketers can start investing in Zepto. A huge warning that's coming in before the IPO is launched. And in a Republic exclusive, we have gotten to know that in the Zepto controversy, the co-founder Kaivalya Vora and not just that, the founder Adit Palicha were both questioned and summoned by the ED at least twice. This happened across April and May. In fact, ED also asked Zepto, the e-commerce company, to furnish details of their foreign investment, and these details were also sought as part of the FEMA Act proceedings against Zepto. And now viewers, shifting focus. Indian envoy in the UN, Harish, has been slammed. He's in fact slammed Pakistan for its double game. He said that Pakistan was playing to pretend and advocate a peace and between, two other warring sides while committing a massacre in Afghanistan in the name of military operations. Listen into this report.
Pakistan, in its statement earlier today, questioned the intent of UNAMA and the veracity of UNSG's report. We would like to stress that support for multilateralism and the United Nations is not an a la carte menu. Pakistan's campaign of military airstrikes against Afghanistan is causing huge civilian casualties and sufferings to the Afghan people. We reiterate Secretary General's deep concern at civilian casualties caused by airstrikes, cross-border firing, and targeted killings as detailed in UNAMA reports. We support the Secretary General's call urging compliance with obligations under international law, including international humanitarian law, and ensuring protection of civilians. We also support UNAMA's earlier calls for investigation to ensure accountability, prevent recurrence, and uphold victims' rights. Such unconscionable acts of violence are a blatant assault on Afghanistan's sovereignty and a threat to the region's peace and stability. India strongly condemns the airstrikes on Afghan territory, which are flagrant violations of international law and the UN Charter and the principle of state sovereignty.
And now, viewers, shifting focus. The police cover-up has become clearer in Twisha's case as police investigation collapses and loopholes emerge that have been confirmed. No signature of ex-Judge Giribala or even Samarth Singh. Police even failed to take their signatures. In fact, Police Commissioner's version in public is also now in doubt. Now, police's version over the ligature belt does not add up. Now, even the Police Commissioner's version in public has now created doubts. In fact, our editor for Legal, Rhythm Bharadwaj, also had a conversation with Twisha's lawyer. Listen in.
Let me now go across to Ankur Pandey ji. He was the lawyer in this case, is currently the lawyer for Twisha Sharma's family. Ankur ji, I want you to explain to us the importance of page 32 and this omission or negligence. It's very clear, like you've been saying, it seems that the cops were in a nexus this entire time with Giribala and Samarth.
From the very first day, ma'am, we are requesting from the investigating agency for conducting a fair investigation. That was the first demand which victim's family has been making. पहले दिन से जब 12 तारीख को घटना घटी है, 13 तारीख से लगातार एक फेयर इन्वेस्टिगेशन हो, इसके लिए जो एविडेंसेस हमारे पास अवेलेबल थे हमने उनको उपलब्ध कराए. इसके बाद भी जब 26 तारीख को हाईकोर्ट में रिप्लाई फाइल होता है एक अक्यूज की तरफ से, तो हमको ये डॉक्यूमेंट्स मिलते हैं. और ये जो पेज 32 का डॉक्यूमेंट है, दैट इज एन एक्सक्लूसिव डॉक्यूमेंट विच इज पार्ट ऑफ केस डायरी. इस पे किसी भी आरोपी ने ना आइडेंटिफाई करा है उन आइटम्स को, तो उनको तो लीगली ये मिल भी नहीं सकते डॉक्यूमेंट. इसके बाद भी उनके पास ये डॉक्यूमेंट कैसे पहुंचे, पहला क्वेश्चन ये. इसके बाद जो सीजर एग्जीक्यूट हुआ है, आपका कहना है, मैं तो कह रहा हूं डेलिबरेट है. क्यों डेलिबरेट है? ये ओमिशन नहीं है, इन्होंने डेलिबरेटली करा है, क्योंकि उसी दिन 3 और सीजर एग्जीक्यूट होते हैं विच कंटेन्स नेम, सिग्नेचर एंड प्रॉपर डिटेल्स ऑफ बोथ द अक्यूज्ड, और दैट टाइम दे वर सस्पेक्ट. बट इस पर्टिकुलर सीजर में डेलिबरेट ओमिशन करा गया, जो हो सकता है अगर आगे ट्रायल इसी पुलिस की इन्वेस्टिगेशन पे चलता तो कहीं ना कहीं उनको मदद करता, वो ट्रायल का विषय है. लेकिन डेलिबरेट है क्योंकि उस दिन और 3 एग्जीक्यूट हुए हैं और तीनों में प्रॉपर डिटेल्स फिलअप हैं. इसके बाद क्राइम सीन सिक्योर नहीं था, जिसका एग्जाम्पल है कि लिगेचर किसने आपको आइडेंटिफाई कराया. एसआई वाज नॉट प्रेजेंट एट द टाइम ऑफ इंसिडेंट, उसे नहीं पता घटनास्थल क्या है, घर पे कहां पे क्या सीज करना है, तो बिना सस्पेक्ट के आइडेंटिफिकेशन के कैसे उसने लिगेचर को सीज कर लिया. और उसी दिन पोस्टमार्टम होना था. सुबह आप 9 एफएसएल की टीम आनी थी जो लगभग 12-1 बजे के आसपास आई, तो लिगेचर आप जब सुबह ही ले गए तो एफएसएल ने क्या एग्जामिन करा? फिर आपने जानबूझ के डेलिबरेटली इसको एम्स में नहीं भेजा. फिर उसके बाद 2 PM हुआ, स्टेट का कंसेंट था, सबको पता था 2 PM कंडक्ट होने वाला है, दिल्ली से टीम आ गई, लेकिन आपने लिगेचर एमपी के सागर में बोल दिया. सागर एफएसएल में आप 150-200 किलोमीटर 2 PM के लिए वो लिगेचर नहीं दे पाते. तो कहीं ना कहीं ये सारे इंसिडेंट जो नेक्सस शुरू से विक्टिम का परिवार बता रहा था, वो नेक्सस क्लियरली स्टैब्लिश होता है. और इसीलिए स्टेट ने कंसेंट देके, और सीबीआई से भी रिक्वेस्ट है, हमने करी भी है, कि इस एंगल पे भी जांच होनी चाहिए, इन्वेस्टिगेशन होना चाहिए कि कहीं ना कहीं एमपी पुलिस और जो सस्पेक्ट और आज जो अक्यूज्ड हैं ये कोलैबोरेशन में काम कर रहे थे. और ये ओमिशन नहीं है, ये डेलिबरेट इनका एक्ट है जो उनके फेवर के लिए इन्होंने करा है.
अब आप जरा हमारे दर्शकों को समझाइए, जो आप बात कह रहे हैं ये बहुत बिग है अंकुर जी. इसका मतलब है कोई भी सीजर मेमो होता है, आप एक क्रिमिनल लॉयर हैं, आपको समझ आता है, उस पे अगर एसआई दिनेश शर्मा है जो कटारा हिल्स के एसआई हैं, वो 13th मई को जाते हैं, 12th में रात को ट्विशा शर्मा डाइज. हाउ शी डाइज वी स्टिल डोंट नो. सुबह उनको एक लिगेचर बेल्ट दी जाती है. ये लिगेचर बेल्ट इज नॉट एग्जामिन्ड व्यूअर्स इन आइदर पोस्टमार्टम 1 और पोस्टमार्टम 2. ये लिगेचर बेल्ट 13th में से किसके पास पड़ी थी? एफएसएल को गई भी कि नहीं गई?
अब ये इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट है. जो लिगेचर मटेरियल है उसको 3 लोग आइडेंटिफाई कर सकते थे. 1 वाज ट्विशा शर्मा जो नहीं रहे, और जो दो लोग हैं वो हैं गिरिबाला सिंह और समर सिंह। जब सेम डे आप 4 सीजर मेमोज एग्जीक्यूट कर रहे हैं और बाकी सारे आइटम्स को आप आइडेंटिफाई करा रहे हैं सस्पेक्ट से, तो ये पर्टिकुलर इंपॉर्टेंट जो सबसे आपके जो अक्यूज हैं, जो सस्पेक्ट हैं, उनके हिसाब से सुसाइड हुआ है, तो उस सुसाइड में लिगेचर मटेरियल जो है वो यूज हुआ है। तो ये आइडेंटिफिकेशन आपने क्यों नहीं कराया? क्योंकि डॉक्यूमेंट देखा जाए अगर सीजर का, उसके हिसाब से बिना आइडेंटिफिकेशन के अगर लिगेचर एसआई ने सीज करा है तो वो नहीं था इंसिडेंट पे, उसको कहां से सपना आया मुझे कहां से क्या सीज करना है, और घटनास्थल छत है ये सस्पेक्ट का कहना था। लेकिन जहां भी घटना घटी उसके बाद वो एम्स ले गए, तो पूरा जो घर है वही क्राइम सीन था, आपने क्यों नहीं सिक्योर करा? और जो वीडियो रिलीज करे गए हैं, जो सस्पेक्ट या आरोपी हैं आज के समय, उनके द्वारा जो वीडियो रिलीज करे गए उसमें तुषार शर्मा एक हेडफोन ले जाते हुए दिख रही हैं। इट इज नॉट रेलेवेंट कि वो कितना जरूरी एविडेंस है, लेकिन वो क्राइम सीन पे पड़ा था। और 13 तारीख के बाद ऑलमोस्ट 10 दिन बाद 23 तारीख को जो आरोपी गिरेवाला सिंह है उनके आइडेंटिफिकेशन के बाद उसको सीज करा गया। तो क्राइम सीन कितना सिक्योर था, क्राइम सीन किसके पोजीशन में था, ये सारा एक इन्वेस्टिगेशन का विषय है जो सीबीआई को करना चाहिए।
Ankur ji, we are seeing in this visual that is on the screen, and we stay with this story, that Twisha Sharma was at that time easily picked up in that picture that we just saw by her husband at that time, Samarth alone. But he has 3 people here. One of them is Swaraj, Samarth's cousin. How did he reach the crime scene even before the house help, while he lives 2 houses away?
Ma'am, since this is a matter of investigation, but one angle which is very important, कि एक तो वेट के संबंध में आप उठा सकते हैं, वो एक अलग इशू है, लेकिन जब 13 तारीख को शॉर्ट पीएम हो गया, शॉर्ट पीएम में 7 एंटीमॉर्टम इंजरीज आ गई, ऑल्दो दे वर सिंपल इन नेचर, बट स्टिल इन्वेस्टिगेशन मर्ग रजिस्टर्ड था, वहां से शुरू हो रहा था। 7 एंटीमॉर्टम इंजरीज थी जो एक सुसाइड के केस में बहुत अननेचुरल है। तो जब 7 एंटीमॉर्टम इंजरीज थी, वेट के संबंध में तो सीबीआई इन्वेस्टिगेट कर ही रहा है, वो उठा सकते थे कि नहीं, लेकिन जो सस्पेक्ट पुलिस के सामने थे, वो सस्पेक्ट 13 तारीख को जो 3 सीजर एग्जीक्यूट कर रहे हैं उसमें से एक सस्पेक्ट फरार कैसे हो जाता है? जब एंटीमॉर्टम इंजरीज आई हैं शॉर्ट पीएम में, तो पुलिस इसका मतलब शुरू से ही एक बायस तरीके से इन्वेस्टिगेशन कर रहा था। जैसा आरोपी बता रहे थे, जैसा सस्पेक्ट बता रहे थे, उनको क्या फेवर हो सके उसके हिसाब से एमपी पुलिस उनके साथ कोलैबोरेशन में काम कर रही थी। तो कहीं ना कहीं हो सकता है इन लोगों को बुलाया गया विटनेस बनाने के लिए, जो स्टोरी सस्पेक्ट बताएं उसको कंफर्म करने के लिए, जो आगे चल के ट्रायल में उनको हेल्प करे। तो ये विषय है इन्वेस्टिगेशन का और सीबीआई इस पे इन्वेस्टिगेट करेगी।
The police commissioner had earlier, in several interviews he had given, claimed the FSL team had the ligature belt, but the belt was with SI Dinesh Sharma on 13th May. 9:42 SI of Katara Hills Police Station took the belt. Who was the belt with? Did the FSL team even look at this belt in the earlier days?
मैम, पुलिस कमिश्नर का ऑन रिकॉर्ड जो स्टेटमेंट है, एंड इवन द एसआईटी चीफ हु वाज हेडिंग द इन्वेस्टिगेशन आफ्टर द रजिस्ट्रेशन ऑफ एफआईआर अराउंड 3 to 2 days आफ्टर ही वाज हेडिंग द इन्वेस्टिगेशन, दोनों का ऑन रिकॉर्ड, दोनों ने यही स्टेटमेंट कंफर्म करा है कि एफएसएल टीम आई, उन्होंने लिगेचर और पूरे क्राइम सीन को एग्जामिन करा और उसके बाद वो लिगेचर लेके चले गए। बट एफएसएल टीम उस दिन 12 से 1 बजे के आसपास आई, उनको इस बात की या तो जानकारी नहीं है या तो वो इस बात को छुपा रहे हैं कि ऑलरेडी उसी कटारा हिल्स थाने का जो शुरू में इन्वेस्टिगेट कर रहे थे इस केस को, उनका एक एसआई लिगेचर बेल्ट, एक लैपटॉप, एक फोन लेके चला जाता है। इसकी जानकारी कैसे नहीं हो सकती एसआईटी चीफ को, जो इतनी बड़ी इन्वेस्टिगेशन लीड कर रहे हैं, जो उस प्रकरण के संबंध में जो अननेचुरल डेथ हुई है उसका क्या रीजन है वो फाइंड आउट कर रहे हैं, और उनको इतनी सी बात नहीं पता कि उन्हीं के भोपाल में ही कटारा हिल्स थाने से एक एसआई उसको सीज करके ले जाता है। तो ये इन्फॉर्मेशन किसने उनको दी? या तो कमिश्नर और एसआईटी चीफ झूठ बोल रहे हैं, या उनको जानकारी नहीं दी गई शुरू में, या कंप्लीट एविडेंस, क्योंकि सबसे पहले इन्वेस्टिगेशन कटारा हिल्स के एसएचओ ने शुरू करी, उसके बाद एसआईटी फॉर्म हुई। तो क्या जो कटारा हिल्स के एसएचओ थे उनने पूरी जानकारी नहीं दी एसआईटी को, या एसआईटी व्यस्त है, अक्यूज जो है उनको मदद करने के लिए उसने इतनी इंपॉर्टेंट चीज पे उनने ध्यान नहीं दिया। एम्स ने 13 तारीख को शॉर्ट पीएम करा, पोस्टमार्टम हुआ, एम्स ने भी नहीं मांगा कि हम लिगेचर मांग लें क्योंकि बॉडी, और 13 तारीख के बाद से आप हम पे प्रेशर बना रहे हैं, पुलिस को लेटर लिख रहे हैं कि आप बॉडी ले जाइए, अंतिम संस्कार करिए, हमारे पास इसके जो रिक्वायर्ड जो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है वो नहीं है, हम बॉडी को नहीं रख सकते हैं। इसके बाद पुलिस रिक्वेस्ट कर रही है फैमिली से कि आप बॉडी को ले जाइए। तो अगर हम अंतिम संस्कार कर देते तो लिगेचर आप किससे मैच करते? और लिगेचर ऑलमोस्ट मैच हुआ है, 15 एफआईआर है, 15 को FIR होती है, उसके 3-4 दिन बाद लिगेचर शायद गया है, जो कंफर्म नहीं है। लेकिन अगर हम अंतिम संस्कार कर देते बॉडी का, तो लिगेचर आप किससे मैच करते? और इसके बाद हाई कोर्ट ने रिट पिटीशन में स्टेट ने भी कंसेंट दिया, सेकंड पोस्टमार्टम होने वाला था, सबको पता था, स्टेट को पता था, दिल्ली से टीम आ गई यहां, उसने 3-4 घंटे सेकंड पोस्टमार्टम कर लिया। बट SIT ने इतनी उस समय कोशिश नहीं करी कि वो बेल्ट अवेलेबल कर सके जो लिगेचर मटेरियल है। क्यों नहीं करा आपने? तो ये कहीं ना कहीं एक डेलिबरेट उनका दिखाता है कि उन्होंने ओमिशन जानबूझ के करे हैं, जिससे बाद, क्योंकि उनको नहीं पता था CBI आ जाएगी, तो पुलिस शुरू से इनकी मदद कर रही थी। केस जितना कम बन सके, जिस तरीके से दबाया जा सके मैटर को, शुरू से पुलिस ने ये कोशिश करी। लेकिन क्योंकि अब CBI बाद में आ गई, तो पुलिस का क्या रोल है, इस पे भी इन्वेस्टिगेशन होना चाहिए।
Twisha Sharma had 7 anti-mortem injuries on her body, which means before her death, there were 7 blunt and blows given to her. You are a criminal lawyer, experienced in this. If this is true, first, she had injuries. Why, when Samarth was with the police on 13th, and how did he abscond? Because this is a big revelation, it's a big breaking news. If Twisha's body had 7 anti-mortem injuries before her death, then how is it being called a suicide? And how was Samarth with the police on 13th and after that suddenly went absconding? This is the big news that we will really try and understand. Ankurji, I want to understand from you. If 13th ko he had joined the police probe, 14th, how did Samarth vanish? And in your personal experience in suicide cases, have you ever seen 7 anti-mortem injuries on some person?
मैम, सुसाइड केसेस में 7 जो इसमें जो एंटी-मॉर्टम इंजरीज हैं, उनका नेचर किस तरीके से लगी हैं, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट है जो फॉरेंसिक को डिटेल रिपोर्ट देनी चाहिए थी। एम्स ने जो शॉर्ट PM करा है उसमें बहुत लिमिटेड चीजें लिखी हैं, लेकिन ये बहुत अननेचुरल है कि एक सुसाइड केस में 7 एंटी-मॉर्टम इंजरीज हैं, जिसको हाई कोर्ट में भी जो स्टेट की तरफ से एडवोकेट जनरल साहब खड़े हुए थे, उन्होंने भी रेस करा कि 7 एंटी-मॉर्टम इंजरीज हैं, एंटिसिपेटरी बेल मिल कैसे गई? क्योंकि ये सारे एस्पेक्ट को क्यों नहीं कोर्ट ने नीचे क्यों ओवरलुक कर दिया, क्यों इन्वेस्टिगेशन एजेंसी ने ध्यान नहीं दिया? 13 तारीख को आपके पास पूरा समय है, सुबह से लेके 6:30-7 बजे तक आप 3-3 सीजर एग्जीक्यूट करा रहे हैं आरोपियों से, उन्हीं के घर में बैठ के। लेकिन आपने ये मेक श्योर नहीं करा कि जब शॉर्ट PM आ गई, 7 एंटी-मॉर्टम इंजरीज हैं, पुलिस ने भी लाखों केसेस इन्वेस्टिगेट करे होंगे, सुसाइड के केस में 7 एंटी-मॉर्टम इंजरीज आना बहुत ही अनयूजुअल है। बहुत कम केसेस मिले भी, तो मैं तो ढूंढा, मुझे कोई ऐसे केस नहीं मिले। लेकिन पुलिस इतने सालों से इन्वेस्टिगेट कर रही है, वो एक्सपर्ट मानी, इन्वेस्टिगेटिंग एजेंसी का काम है, वो एक्सपर्ट है इस चीज में। सस्पेक्ट 13 तारीख को आपके पास है, सारे सीजर एग्जीक्यूट कर रहा है, सारे पुलिस वाले उपस्थित हैं, उसके बाद एंटिसिपेटरी बेल लगती है, 14 को फाइल होती है और वो गायब हो जाते हैं, और एक आरोपी वही है, उनको बेल मिल जाती है। तो ये किस तरीके का नेक्सस है पुलिस का और आरोपी का या सस्पेक्ट का? ये इस पे भी इन्वेस्टिगेशन होना चाहिए।
बिल्कुल,
हमारा फेयर इन्वेस्टिगेशन का शुरू से रहा है, फेयर इन्वेस्टिगेशन हो।
बट मैं आपको ये बता दूं, एंड अंकुर जी, आई विल ऑल्सो रिक्वेस्ट बोथ ऑफ यू टू जॉइन अस थ्रू द डे, बिकॉज दिस इज आवर कैंपेन एंड वी गोइंग टू कंटिन्यू आस्किंग अबाउट द कवर अप. Navnidhi Sharma ji, you're traveling. We thank you both for being with us. Viewers, we leave you with certain breaking news and elements that we've just given you. The seizure memo, the belt was seized in a seizure memo, and it was not signed by Giribala and Samarth. Breaking number 1. Breaking number 2, SI Dinesh Sharma, the SI of Katara Hills, took the seizure without signatures. As a qualified police officer, how many times has he done it earlier? What was the reason there were no signatures? How can there even be a seizure which is done without signatures? The entire crime probe from the start is vitiated. This is a violation of our criminal law and evidence collection of our country. Who allowed this to happen? And the third point, if Samarth was able to pick up Twisha Sharma, then why did he, on the night of her death, specially call her cousin who lives 2 houses away? What was really happening? What was the conspiracy? Everybody needs to come to the bottom of this. The CBI, of course, is doing its investigation. These are new facts that are emerging daily. Was the belt even the instrument with Twisha ended her life, or her life was ended?
And that's all that we could wrap for you in this edition of Live and Breaking. But don't go anywhere. On the other side, we get you details of the ongoing relentless protest that's ongoing in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. The anti-Pakistan protests, at least 27 killed and over 200 injured by Pakistani Rangers.
प्यास बुझाए ठंडक लाए सबको भाए जीरा से MTH का जलजीरा जीरा से
जीरा से असली रिफ्रेशिंग, असली स्वाद, असली मजा।
AU सेविंग्स अकाउंट में मिलते हैं अमेजिंग बेनिफिट्स, पेपरलेस बैंकिंग एंड हायर इंटरेस्ट, वो भी हर महीने।
मनी 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 एवरी मंथ। सोच बदलो और बैंक भी। आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा हार्डकोर मसाला।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
आलू चाट या फ्रूट चाट,
स्वाद बनाए चमकी चाट।
क्या बात है, स्वादिष्ट पकोड़े और फरसान, अरे चमकी चाट है इसकी जान।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
I want to start with some very disturbing pictures that have come in of a so-called right-wing leader. His name is Sushil Prajapati. He's accused of rape. After being in jail for 9 months, he gets bail, which means he's still an accused. He's an accused in a rape case. And the case goes back to 2025 when he took an LLB student to one place on the pretext of introducing her to a senior advocate. He drugged her drink and then he sexually assaulted her. He's still under trial for rape. He has not been released. But when he comes out, this rape accused, garlands are put on him as if he's some kind of a hero, as if he's achieved something great. Is a rapist to be celebrated, ladies and gentlemen? I ask you that question. And more than anyone else, I ask the right wing of this country. Very often I come on television and I say, yes, on several issues, I'm happy to be called a right-winger. But ladies and gentlemen, let me put it clearly. You cannot let a person like this man, this Sushil Prajapati, a leader of the Hindu Yuva Vahini, a local thug, a man accused of rape, you cannot celebrate his act of rape or celebrate the fact that the rapist is out on bail. If that is the message we want to send to our society, and if all the BJP leaders...
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा, सबका राजा और मसाला।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच, लस्सी और छाछ।
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। ड्राई फ्रूट और दही बड़े।
चमकी चाट से स्वाद बढ़े।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
In fact, very often I believe the only way to get justice in India is a media trial. So there's no reason for the media, if it's doing a good job of a media trial, to be on the back foot. In fact, the courts should stop making these overarching remarks about media trial and contemplate about one very basic thing. With the greatest of respect to the courts, when the other institutions fail, when people get let down by the system, when even the judiciary does not seem to be listening or raising a noise about issues, like in the case of Twisha Sharma, who does the public look to for justice, for raising their voice, for bringing something that's utterly false, illegal or wrong to public attention? It is only and only the media. And today, therefore, we are doing a media trial in this specific case, ladies and gentlemen, of Twisha Sharma, the 33-year-old daughter-in-law of an ex-judge in a case where the ex-judge and the ex-judge's advocate son appear to be more than involved. Ladies and gentlemen, 15 questions tonight. And if they think it's a media trial, so be it. So be it. Why did the ex-judge in the case of Twisha Sharma, neither she nor her son call a police or an ambulance? What took them 57 minutes to bring the body down? Where are the 3 men who are seen in the video dragging Twisha's body, destroying evidence? What was the police doing? Did they question the house staff? Did they question the judge? Was Twisha carrying headphones in her bag, in her hand, or a rope? Where is it now? Where is that so-called belt that cops claim was used by her to commit suicide? Why was it hidden? The mother-in-law, the ex-judge, walks up calmly while the body is being dragged down and evidence is being destroyed before the judge's eyes. Is that normal? Why don't the judges raise a hue and cry about it? Why don't the appellate courts?
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Hello and a very warm welcome. You're watching Republic TV. I'm Gesu Bharadwaj, and relentless protesting is ongoing in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Multiple fatalities and multiple injuries reported by the Pakistani Rangers. We're getting you all the details. A check on your headlines first. Anti-Pakistan and anti-Munir protests in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. 27 killed in firing and over 200 injured by Pakistani Rangers as per the Joint Awami Action Committee. Pakistan faces global backlash over violence in POK. Over 50 UK MPs write to Pakistan over the massacre. Zepto's business model, foreign investment under ED scanner, co-founder Adit Palicha reportedly questioned by ED under the FEMA Act. Direct impact of Republic expose on the VVIP treatment of ex-judge Giribala, deputy jailer of Central Bhopal Jail, now removed. Republic was the only channel to report on the VVIP treatment for Giribala, and now action follows. Deputy jailer Jaya Yadav has been removed. Viewers, now starting first with the breaking development. The National Investigation Agency just today searched multiple locations across Punjab and Haryana in connection with 3 terror gangster network cases related to Pakistan-based terrorist Shehzad Bhatti. Now, NIA teams conducted coordinated searches at multiple premises. These included about 18 locations in 9 districts of the 2 states, that's Punjab and Haryana. In fact, they also examined several people to gather relevant information. In fact, the police also seized several digital devices and documents, along with information that was linked with various communication networks, financial transactions, and activities of persons under the agency's scanner in the 3 cases. Now, the NIA's crackdown also includes all the information and evidence that's been collected during these searches, and that has been sent for scrutiny as well as forensic and technical examination to unravel the larger cross-border conspiracy. In fact, my colleague Gursimran joins us on the broadcast with more details. Gursimran, speak to us about this, 2-state crackdown by the National Investigation Agency, a possible terror plot that could be unraveled.
Yes, if we speak of the National Investigation Agency, the NIA has carried out searches at a total of 18 locations across Punjab and Haryana. These raids have been carried out in the 9 districts of the twin states of Punjab and Haryana, and these raids were in connection with a larger conspiracy being hatched by Pakistan-based narcotic terror smuggler Shehzad Bhatti. Shehzad Bhatti's name has surfaced in the 3 cases that has been registered by the National Investigation Agency from the North India, and he has been instrumental not only radicalizing but also actually pushing out the youth for carrying out terror acts, and several of the acts of terror that have been carried out by the Pakistan-based terror groups are being executed with the active involvement of Shehzad Bhatti. He has already been named in the FIR number 22 of 2025 that was registered with regards to a killing that has taken place on the direction of Shehzad Bhatti. So its entire module is on the radar of the security forces. A couple of days ago, we saw last month, it was the DGP of Jammu and Kashmir Police has also said that we are going to dismantle the entire ecosystem of the Shehzad Bhatti, and the Jammu Police has also registered an FIR on which they are working, and 3 arrests have already taken place, and a larger financial aspect is also being worked upon by the Jammu and Kashmir Police. So all state police are working. Maharashtra ATS was the first one to carry out raids on the associates of Shehzad Bhatti. Now several other suspects have also been issued notices by the National Investigating Agency so that they can also be questioned with regards to their involvement or some of the communications that have been established with Shehzad Bhatti.
Right, Gursimran, thanks for getting us a lowdown on everything that's ongoing. And of course, we'll closely keep tracking the story. But for now, viewers, shifting focus. Now, tensions have once again flared across Pakistan-occupied Kashmir after the JAAC accused Pakistani security forces of carrying out violent crackdown on protesters and the mourners, allegedly leaving dozens of them dead and hundreds injured. Now, the unrest comes ahead of the major shutdown call issued by the JAC today, with demonstrations spreading across several parts of the region. Now, according to the JAC leaders, at least 27 protesters have been killed and over 200 people were injured, and 100 other individuals were also detained during the operations conducted by Pakistani military and security personnel. Take a look at the visuals on your screens right now. Those are park rangers that have opened fire on their own people, protesters being heckled by the Pakistani authorities. Now, in fact, Major Samarpal Toor, who is a defense expert, also joins us to get us more updates into the matter. Major Samarpal Toor, these visuals that have constantly been, pouring in our newsroom since the last 3 days, and now new heights have been crossed. Pakistani Rangers have in fact opened fire. They've used pellet guns, tear gases against their own people.
Basically, this is a fight for the joint Awami Action Committee and the seat for it. And as soon as the protest began, the protests were in pretext of the lack of facilities which are being, not being distributed. They have prolonged power cuts. Their education system is on the downturn. With the inflation in oil prices, commuting has become a very big challenge in the areas. So keeping all these things in mind, tensions have only flared up. And with India's development model in Jammu Kashmir, the people of POJK have realized that they have been fooled. They have been, deprived of development and success. They've been deprived of the fundamental right of the right to progress and do well. So when they see their economical distress, lack of medical facilities, lack of infrastructure, they do not have connectivity, they still do not have electricity in many villages, there is no road construction at places, they have to actually walk down to fetch water from the rivers there. So things are actually very bad in POJK, and I think it is come to a realization. There's a saying in Hindi, "Der hai durust hai," better late than never. So this struggle should have actually begun in the early 90s, which is actually begun now. But I strongly feel that now is the time where the United Nations should step in and ensure that none of the Pakistan military element is present in POJK, because they do not have jurisdiction over Azad Kashmir. That is what they call themselves and proclaim. So the interference and installation of the puppet Prime Minister of Azad Jammu Kashmir is a farce, and this narrative is being called out. And now Pakistan military has already reached these places. Rawalakot, and there are 2 to 3 more locations where the protests have begun, and confirmed 30 people have been dead. However, the figures being told and proclaimed by the people in POJK are, in the estimation of 200 plus. So it is a repeat of what happened to the protesters of Tehreek-e-Labak, how they were killed in, the Pakistan Punjab for their protest. This is a repeat of it. And here now, Asim Munir is involved, his military is involved, and, orders for shooter strike have been given. So, keeping all this in mind, and how Pakistan has already got itself entangled in the geopolitical scenario, I think it is going to be very difficult for Pakistan to contain this movement here on. Yes.
Right, Major Tur. In fact, thank you so much for joining us on Republic and getting us a lowdown. In fact, my colleague Gursimran also joins us with a lot more details on the matter. Gursimran, a blatant human rights violation that we can see on our screens. Take a look at that. Pakistani rangers going all out, crossing all boundaries and heckling their own people. Pellets have been fired. Tear gas was used on protesters, and at least 27 protesters have been killed. Over 200 others injured. Talk to us about the details of what's unfolding in the region. Gursimran.
Ishita, Pakistan armed forces have always been the synonym of human rights violations, and that has been proved over the last 70 years, 75 years of the independence, because Pakistan has done atrocities on the people of their own. They have only cared for the resources, be it Pakistan occupied Jammu and Kashmir, Gilgit-Baltistan or Baluchistan. The story has been same. People are fed up of the Pakistani armed forces and their actions, their brutalities that are being committed upon them. Now coming to the present instance of Pakistan occupied Jammu and Kashmir, the people are on the roads, and the long march that has been called by the Jammu and Kashmir Awami Action Committee that works under the conglomerate Joint Action Awami Action Committee, they have given the call, and now the people from all walks of the society, they have shown their solidarity with the JAC and have come out to the streets. They have begun their march from the Rawalakot and are heading towards Poonch, and then at the final destination Muzaffarabad. This is actually facing the same fate as they did the brutalities by the Pakistan in the month of September in 2025, or in the month of May in 2024, or its start in 2023. All these while, what the people have been subjected to is a brutal torture and a grave human rights violation that has taken place. Apart from that, the new thing that has taken place is designating the Joint Awami Action Committee as a terror group by the Home Department of Pakistan occupied Jammu and Kashmir, and also the internet clampdown to actually hide things from the global community. But sufficient videos have come forward so far showing the brutality of the forces, and also showing that what Pakistan is doing to the people of Pakistan occupied Jammu and Kashmir, which it claims has given autonomy to. The reality is Pakistan wants its upper hand, and that's why these 12 MLAs, they are the one who are not from the people of POJK but are from outside, and then they are going to get the ministries and rule the people of POJK, make policies for them, which is of course will not be of their favor. So this is the situation on ground, and the people, they have gone on all out against the Pakistani administration. Even the voice message that has been released by Shaukat Nawaz Mir, that has also told in no mincing words to the General Asim Munir, the Field Marshal of Pakistan, that don't label us as terrorists. We are the one who are seeking our rights, and this is something, the rights that every person in the POJK is now demanding for.
Right, Gursimran, thanks for getting us all the details, viewers. These are the visuals on your screens. A blatant violation of human rights that's ongoing on the streets of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. And now, viewers, shifting focus. Fresh questions have emerged in the Twisha Sharma death case after documents related to the seizure of crucial evidence revealed alleged procedural lapses in the initial investigation. This has also casted renewed scrutiny on the suicide theory and the handling of evidence by the police officials at large. Now, at the center of this entire controversy is the seizure memo of the alleged ligature belt, a key piece of evidence that forms the basis of the hanging theory. Documents also filed before the court show that while other seizure memos in the case carry the signatures of accused former Judge Giribala Singh and her son Samarth Singh, the memo relating to the seizure of the belt does not contain their signatures. The absence of the accused person's signatures on a document that's linked to the most crucial piece of physical evidence has raised questions about the chain of custody and recovery processes. The seizure memo also indicates that the belt, along with a laptop and mobile phone, was seized by Sub-Inspector Dinesh Sharma at 9:42 a.m. on the 13th of May, which is the next day after Twisha's death. However, unlike subsequent seizures carried out on the identification of Giribala Singh and Samarth Singh, the document does not mention who identified the alleged ligature to investigators. This has also shifted the attention to SI Dinesh Sharma, the officer who conducted the first seizure. Now questions are being raised about how he identified and even seized the alleged ligature material when neither of the accused appeared to have made a party to the seizure process. Now, in fact, my colleague Satya Vijay also filed a report from Bhopal CP's office. The question being why the Bhopal police is shielding Sub-Inspector Dinesh Sharma. Listen in.
तुषार शर्मा संदिग्ध मौत मामले में लगातार अपडेट सामने आ रहे हैं, लेकिन इसमें प्रारंभिक तौर पर जो भोपाल पुलिस है उसकी लापरवाही भी उजागर होती है, क्योंकि कटारा थाने के सब इंस्पेक्टर दिनेश शर्मा इन्होंने कई लापरवाहियां की हैं, जैसे कि फर्स्ट पीएम के दौरान लिगेचर बेल्ट का डॉक्टरों तक ना पहुंचाना, दूसरी लापरवाही लिगेचर बेल्ट को अपनी गाड़ी में लेकर घूमना, तीसरी लापरवाही लिगेचर बेल्ट को सेकंड पीएम के समय भी उपलब्ध न कराना, और इसके अलावा जब लिगेचर बेल्ट की जब्ती हुई उस दौरान किसी की निशानदेही, परिवार के सदस्यों की निशानदेही के बिना ही लिगेचर बेल्ट को जब्त किया गया। और इसी सवाल को लेकर कि आखिर जब दिनेश शर्मा जो कि सब इंस्पेक्टर है उनकी लापरवाही सामने आ चुकी है, दस्तावेजों में भी ये चीजें दर्शाई जा रही हैं, इसके बाद भी आखिर उन्हें क्यों बचाया जा रहा है। मैं इसको लेकर कटारा थाने भी गया। कटारा थाने में हमने सवाल जवाब किए तो पता चला सी क्लिप पर है दिनेश शर्मा। इसके अलावा हमने एसआईटी चीफ से बात करना चाहिए, उन्होंने सीबीआई जांच का हवाला देकर बात करने से इनकार कर दिया। फिलहाल भोपाल कमिश्नर कार्यालय है, ये कमिश्नर साहब की गाड़ी आप देखिए, कमिश्नर साहब इस मुद्दे पर कुछ भी बात करने से इनकार कर रहे हैं। लेकिन हम लगातार सवाल खड़े कर रहे हैं कि आखिर एक सब इंस्पेक्टर जिसने शुरुआती दौर में इतनी लापरवाहियां की, उसे क्यों बचाया जा रहा है, उस पर अब तक क्यों कार्रवाई नहीं की गई है।
Viewers, now let's also look at other stories that we're tracking from across Bharat in just 1 minute. The Enforcement Directorate has summoned T. Veena, the daughter of former Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan, in connection with the alleged CMRL Exalogic money laundering case. Veena, who owns Exalogic Solutions, is among 9 individuals that have been summoned by the agency. Notices have also been issued to CMRL Managing Director, his son Saran Kartha, and other company officials. All those summoned have been asked to appear before the ED on Friday as the agency intensifies its probe into the financial transactions linked to the case. Former TMC MLA and ex-Bidhan Nagar Mayor Sabyasachi Datta has been arrested in an alleged extortion and criminal intimidation case linked to a complaint filed by a businessman. Investigators allege that lakhs of rupees were extorted in 2018 and are also examining municipal decisions, contracts and financial transactions connected to the case. Now, authorities also claim crucial documents and evidence were recovered during the probe. Datta, however, has denied all allegations and alleged that the action against him is politically motivated. And now, viewers, shifting focus to what's happening between Israel and Iran. Now, as Israel faces renewed Iranian missile attacks in its ongoing multi-front war, global attention has turned to its military supply lines. India, a close strategic partner, finds itself in the spotlight over possible direct arms support. At the center is the Hermes 900 drone, known as the Kochav in Israel and Drishti 10 domestically in India. The Adani-Elbit joint venture runs the first Hermes 900 production facility outside Israel from its Hyderabad plant. This advanced drone operates at about 30,000 feet with over 30 hours of endurance and a 300-kilogram payload for sensors and munitions. Reports show over 20 units assembled in Hyderabad were exported to Israel in early 2024 for the use of the Israeli Defense Forces. Now, the same facility produces components for Hermes 450, Skylark 3 and Sky Striker drones as well. This development highlights India's shift from importer to a key exporter of Israeli aerospace technology, strengthening defense ties amid regional conflicts. Listen into this report.
As Israel comes under renewed Iranian missile attacks while fighting a multi-front war, global attention has now shifted to its military supply lines. India, one of Israel's closest strategic partners, is increasingly at the spotlight with growing debate over whether Indian weapons are contributing or supporting Israel's current operations. At the center of this debate is the Hermes 900, a highly advanced medium-altitude, long-endurance, a male drone that is developed through a joint venture named Adani-Elbit Advanced Systems India Limited, which was established between India's Adani Defense and Aerospace and Israel's Elbit Systems. India has actually become a critical manufacturing hub for this drone. Now, the joint venture specialized facility located in Hyderabad actually holds the distinction of being the first and the only production center outside the borders of Israel, effectively integrating Indian manufacturing directly into the Israeli military supply chain. Now, the Hermes 900, formerly known in the Israel Air Force as the Koshau or Star, and domestically in India as the Drishti 10, is designed for extensive tactical and strategic missions. Operating at altitudes of up to 30,000 feet, the aircraft boasts an endurance of over 30 hours and payload capacity of approximately 300 kilograms. Now, outfitted with an advanced electro-optical and infrared sensor, synthetic aperture radar and electronic intelligence systems required for complex intelligence, surveillance, target acquisition and reconnaissance missions, this platform can also be configured to carry out a variety of guided munitions. Now, the strategic output of the Hyderabad production line was actually brought into sharp focus in early 2024 when defense and corporate reports indicated that over 20 Hermes 900 units assembled at the Indian plant were exported directly to Israel to bolster Israel's defense forces. Now, beyond the flagship Hermes 900, the Adani-Elbit joint venture also manufactured critical aerostructure and carbon composite subsystems for broader ecosystem of Israeli unmanned aerial systems. Now, this includes the production of components for the Hermes 450, the immediate predecessor to the Hermes 900. Now, the Hermes 450 is actually a medium-sized tactical drone that has served as the primary workhorse of the Israeli Air Force for over 2 decades. Known for its high reliability in providing continuous overwatch and deploying precision strike. Additionally, this Hyderabad facility is actually involved in production of components for smaller specialized tactical platforms such as the Skylark 3, which is utilized for closer range infantry support, and the Sky Striker, a loitering munition designed for kamikaze style precision strikes against fortified targets. Now, these Indian manufactured Hermes variants actually operate in tandem with other highly capable unmanned systems within the Israeli Air Force's extensive drone inventory, most notably those manufactured by the state-owned Israel Aerospace Industries. Now, chief among these alternative platforms are the Heron and its larger, more powerful successor, the Iton, also known as the Heron TP. Now, while the Hermes 900 typically operates with a maximum takeoff weight of around 1,180 kilograms and a loop speed of roughly about 220 kilometers per hour, the Iton represents a significantly larger class of combat drones. Now, the Iton features a maximum takeoff weight of over 5,600 kilograms, a 41,000 feet of service ceiling, and speeds surpassing 400 kilometers per hour. Now, despite these structural and aerodynamic differences, both the Hermes and Heron families serve overlapping and highly complementary combat roles. Now, together, these unmanned systems constitute a layered, persistent surveillance and strike network that forms the operational backbone of modern Israeli military strategy. Now, the integration of the Indian manufacturing into the production of Hermes actually ensures a resilient secondary supply of these critical aerial assets. By establishing a robust assembly line capable of delivering fully integrated Hermes 900 systems and vital components for tactical variants, this joint venture has successfully transitioned India from a traditional importer of Israeli aerospace technology to an active essential exporter. Now, this dedicated offshore production capability not only supports local Indian defense modernization, but directly sustains Israel's inventory of high-endurance, multi-role unmanned aerial vehicles amidst its escalating regional conflicts with Iran and Lebanon.
Viewers, that's all that we could wrap for you in this edition of Live and Breaking. But don't go anywhere. On the other side, a story emerging about Zepto being under the ED scanner under the FEMA Act. We get you all the details of how the co-founder and the founder have in fact been summoned by the ED at least twice in a Republic exclusive. We lay out all the details before Zepto launches its IPO and makes it public.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
आलू चाट या फ्रूट चाट,
स्वाद बढ़ाए चमकी चाट।
क्या बात है? स्वादिष्ट पकोड़े और फरसान, अरे चमकी चाट है इसकी जान।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरी डे।
प्यास बुझाए ठंडक लाए सबको भाए जीरा से MTH का जल जीरा जीरा से
जीरा सिर्फ असली रिफ्रेशिंग, असली स्वाद, असली मजा।
I want to start with some very disturbing pictures that have come in of a so-called right-wing leader. His name is Sushil Prajapati. He is accused of rape. After being in jail for 9 months, he gets bail, which means he's still an accused. He's an accused in a rape case. And the case goes back to 2025 when he took an LLB student to one place on the pretext of introducing her to a senior advocate. He drugged her drink and then he sexually assaulted her. He is still under trial for rape. He has not been released. But when he comes out, this rape accused, garlands are put on him as if he's some kind of a hero, as if he's achieved something great. Is a rapist to be celebrated, ladies and gentlemen? I ask you that question. And more than anyone else, I ask the right wing of this country. Very often I come on television and I say, yes, on several issues, I'm happy to be called a right-winger. But ladies and gentlemen, let me put it clearly. You cannot let a person like this man, this Sushil Prajapati, a leader of the Hindu Yuva Vahini, a local thug, a man accused of rape, you cannot celebrate his act of rape or celebrate the fact that the rapist is out on bail. If that is the message we want to send to our society, And if all the BJP leaders want to be quiet about it, I want to ask them, why are they quiet about this? Why are they quiet? In the silence of the BJP leaders, is there a tacit support to this person? Is there a feeling that anyone who wears or puts a, proclaims that he is from a so-called Hindu organization, that he will be allowed to get away with absolutely everything, including an act?
Anti-Pakistan and anti-Munir protests in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. 27 killed in firing and over 200 injured by Pakistani Rangers as per the Joint Awami Action Committee. Pakistan faces global backlash over violence in POK. Over 50 UK MPs write to Pakistan over massacre. Zepto's business model, foreign investment under ED scanner. Co-founder Adit Palicha reportedly questioned by ED under the FEMA Act. Direct impact of Republic expose on VVIP treatment for ex-Judge Giribala. Deputy jailer of Central Bhopal Jail removed.
And Republic was the only channel to report on VVIP treatment to Giribala, and now action follows. Deputy jailer Jaya Yadav has been removed. Well, viewers, you're watching Republic TV. This is Shivam Dutt Mehta. Let's begin this bulletin with the big development that we are seeing in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Now, tensions have flared across Pakistan-occupied Kashmir after the JAAC accused Pakistani security forces of carrying out a violent crackdown on the protesters and mourners, allegedly leaving dozens dead and hundreds injured in this scenario. Now, the unrest comes ahead of a major shutdown call issued by the JAAC today, with demonstrations spreading across several parts of the region. Now, according to JAAC leaders, at least 27 protesters were killed, more than 200 people were injured, and over 100 individuals were detained during operations conducted by Pakistani military and security personnel. All right, these are the visuals which are the proof of the massacre in POK, and this is the proof of Pak massacre which is happening right now. They are firing straight at the protesters, at those who are demanding justice, those who are demanding human rights, and they are being shot at by the police in this case. You can see this is live action which is happening, live shots that are being fired on the protesters by the police, by the security forces, and many as a result have been killed. And in a short while, in a few days, you'll get to know the real magnitude of those who have been killed. The numbers will significantly increase because many brave protesters, they fought with the government, the security personnel in this case, but because the security personnel are armed and they shot directly at the protesters. All right, this is another video. Gursimran also is live with us with all the latest developments inside POK, inside and the control of the Pakistani army, of the Pakistani security forces that we are getting right now over the protesters. Now, let's go across to Gursimran for all the latest development. Gursimran, coming to you for all the latest developments. Put this into perspective and share all the details on what's the latest. We can see the visuals of Bhimber, Muzaffarabad, Rawalkot.
Yes, the situation from the place where this march is starting from the Rawalkot, Bhimber, and also from the Kotli and in the Plandri, the situation.
All right, viewers, we're getting another big breaking news development, and this is from West Bengal. All right, this is CID officers. Yeah, they have reached Kali Ghat. This is the latest visual that we are getting, live action happening from Bengal on your screen.
They are at Kali Ghat. This is the CID team that has reached Kali Ghat. CID officers which have reached, and all right, this is exclusive. This is Mamta's residence, as we are being told, and these are the CID officers which have reached at Kali Ghat because for the investigation, and also there was summons for Abhishek Banerjee also, and now this is action that we are seeing. They are outside the residence of Mamta. That is what we are getting. Mamta's outside Mamta's residence. Big breaking news development, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, after the defeat of TMC, there is action that is happening. There's law and order which is taking doing its job, playing its role, and action is happening right now as we speak. Now, these are the visuals coming in of the CID team which has reached Kali Ghat. They have reached Kali Ghat, and also a huge number of female officers have been deployed near Mamta's residence. That's what we are getting. And this is Kali Ghat, ladies and gentlemen. This is outside Mamta's residence. Now, we'll have to wait and watch for more details on this story, because this is a developing story, but this is happening as we speak. Live visuals. Our Bangla team is on the spot as we are reporting, as we are showing the live visuals. This is Mamata's residence, TMC Supremo Mamata Banerjee's residence as we speak right now. Visuals on your screen, ladies and gentlemen. Police deployment also at that location, heavy police deployment, and this is CID. Also, the CID team is there. Exclusive visuals, ladies and gentlemen. Exclusive Our Bangla visuals on your screen. As you can see, this is the CID team that has reached Kali Ghat, and a huge number of female officers have also been deployed near Mamata's residence as we speak right now. Big development coming in from West Bengal, action happening in West Bengal, and since there are allegations against various Trinamool Congress leaders and against the role of Abhishek Banerjee, and also the summons by the CID to Abhishek Banerjee. All right, I believe Kishle is on the phone line with me with all the latest. Let's go to Kishle. Kishle, what's happening exactly? If you can put this into perspective and share the latest details.
Well, this is a huge development and breaking news coming in from West Bengal. A huge team of CID has reached Mamata Banerjee's residence. She is not here. She is at Delhi. She will be arriving at 5 p.m. Just before that, 1.5 hours before that, Mamata Banerjee's residence is surrounded by a huge team of the CID and Kolkata police. We are getting to know that this investigation is in regards with the signature forgery case in the assembly that is being investigated by the CID. Now, I'll give you a perspective. In this particular area, there are two locations where the CID team is working. One is Mamata Banerjee's residence, her house, and on the other hand, just opposite to that, is the Central Trinamool Congress Party office. Both of these areas are under the CID scanner right now as we speak. And this is a big development. This is a big breaking news coming in from West Bengal. And that happens. And what is happening right now is the CID team is increasing its force, and also is increasing its force, and additional forces are also coming in this particular area.
Yeah, Kishle, but this is huge. This is significant development. This is not Abhishek Banerjee's residence. This is the residence of Mamata Banerjee, the TMC Supremo, who has ruled for a very long time West Bengal.
Well, Abhishek Banerjee, Chor Bhaipo, people call him by that name in West Bengal. Now, Chor Bhaipo and Mamata Banerjee, both are not here. Now, Chor Bhaipo allegedly forged signatures of his own party MLAs. But the meeting happened, allegedly, according to sources, in this location. The meeting where the signatures were forged happened in this 30B Horish Chatterjee Street in Kali Ghat, which is Mamata's residence. So it is the crime location, the place of occurrence is 30B Horish Chatterjee Street, Mamata Banerjee's house, and a huge CID deployment has been placed right outside 30B Horish Chatterjee Street. Women CID officers have been also appointed and deployed right outside Mamata Banerjee's house. Mamata Banerjee is supposed to arrive around 5 p.m. today. It's 3:38 now as we speak. So it's not even 1.5 hours left when Mamata Banerjee will arrive at this location. Just before that, this huge deployment of CID officials and Kolkata police in this location is very important, very crucial. Chor Bhaipo Abhishek Banerjee was present in that meeting where the signature forgery happened, allegedly. On the other hand, Mamata Banerjee also was present in that meeting. So whether the CID will take any strict action, or they will continue their investigation, or they will enter Mamata Banerjee's residence today to continue their investigation in this regard, is something that we are looking at. But this is huge. Ex-Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, her residence is raided, almost surrounded by CID as we speak. Bhaipo Abhishek Banerjee, Chor Bhaipo Abhishek Banerjee, he was also present here when the signature forgery incident happened. Also, there is a central Trinamool Congress party office right opposite to this area where there were several meetings. So both of these locations are under scanner. And what we see right now is additional CID officials, additional teams of the CID are brought into this location. This is very crucial and important because we already know that Chor Bhaipo Abhishek Banerjee was summoned 3 times in this particular matter by the CID, but he did not appear in front of the CID and evaded summon for all that 3 times that he was summoned. This time, this is huge because the CID team is not at Potuapara right now. Potuapara is the residence of Chor Bhaipo. Potuapara is also close to this location where Mamata Banerjee stays. But this location is itself the exact place, the exact building, the exact house.
Kishle, we are getting reactions. If you can translate that. Yeah, let's
এইটার ক্লারিফিকেশনটা আপনি নিয়ে নেন। যেহেতু উনি এই চিঠিটাই দিয়েছিলেন, ওই চিঠিটা দেওয়ার জন্য আমরা এই
বলছি তো আমরা অ্যাডমিট করছি দেখলাম তো আপনি যে দেখালেন, কিন্তু যে দিয়েছে তার অ্যাবসেন্স আমি কি করে আপনাকে অ্যালাউ করবো?
তিনি তো নেই,
আমিও তো অ্যাডভোকেট।
হ্যাঁ, তিনি নেই তো।
আপনার প্রেজেন্সেই আমরা আমি পারবো না। আমি আপনাকে
অ্যাডভোকেট আপনি যদি
আমি অ্যাবসেন্স অফ দ্য ওনার আই ক্যানট অ্যালাউ
উইটনেস হবো আপনার।
যদি না দেন তাহলে তার কনসিকুয়েন্সটা
সেটা কি করলে সেটা
there will be consequence. The CID officials are saying if you don't let us enter, there will be consequences. On the other hand, Mamata Banerjee's officials are saying that they are not present here, so I cannot allow you inside.
আপনি আমাকে জিজ্ঞাসা করেন বা লোকজন আগে দু চারজন জিজ্ঞাসা করেন, তাই জিজ্ঞাসাবাদ করতে হবে।
জিজ্ঞাসাটা তো পারপাস নয়, আমাদের সার্চটা হচ্ছে পারপাস।
আমি তো
the CID officials are saying we have to search this location in terms of the investigation. On the other hand, her officials are saying that I cannot allow you to search this location without her presence. The CID official is saying it is not that we have to take your permission to search this location. The official is saying, Mamata Banerjee's man is saying, without her presence, in her absence, I cannot let you enter and search this house.
আমি আপনার কথাটা বুঝতে পেরেছি। ব্যাপারটা হয়েছে আপনাকে একটা চিঠি দিয়েছে কে, কিসের ভিত্তিতে? অভিষেক ব্যানার্জি, জেনারেল সেক্রেটারি অফ অল ইন্ডিয়া তৃণমূল কংগ্রেস, রাইট? ইন অ্যাবসেন্স অফ হিম, আপনি তাকে জিজ্ঞাসাবাদ বা তার কি আছে কাগজপত্র দেখতে এসছেন।
Mamata's man is saying in the absence of the General Secretary of Trinamool Congress, Abhishek Banerjee, whose name is there in this allegation, in his absence, why would I let you enter this location? Because your purpose is to interrogate him, but he is not present here. The CID officials are saying you are hampering our investigation.
I am also an advocate. I am practicing for last 40 years.
The CID official is saying you are hampering our investigation. Mamata's man is saying I cannot let you enter without his presence. When Abhishek Banerjee is not present here, when Mamata Banerjee is not present, I cannot let you enter.
কেন বলছি আপনাকে বলছি আপনাকে টাইম চার্জে সে ফিরে আসুন দিল্লি থেকে আপনি করুন।
আপনি তো বলছেন আপনি কেউই না, তাহলে আপনি টাইম চেঞ্জ করতে চাইছেন আমার কাছে। আপনি তো বলছেন আপনি কেউই নন।
এখন আমি চার্জে আছি তো।
কিসের চার্জে?
আমি অফিসে ভলেন্টারি সার্ভিস দিচ্ছি।
অফিসে কি চার্জে আছেন?
কোনো চার্জে নেই।
এই চার্জে নেই বলছেন আপনি তাহলে? তাহলে আপনি আপনি আমাদের
responsible here. I have been appointed to work here, but that is why I am present here. But I cannot allow you inside.
আপনি আমাকে 2 দিন টাইম দিন।
And he is saying that I will cooperate with your investigation, but give me 2 days of time. Mamata's man is saying to the CID officials.
আমি অবস্ট্রাকশন করে করছি। আমি বলছি আমি আলাদা করতে পারবো না।
The CID officials are insisting that they should be allowed to search the location.
বসছি।
তাহলে আপনি অবস্ট্রাকশন করছেন?
না, আমি কোনো অবস্ট্রাকশন।
The CID officials are saying, are you obstructing our investigation? The Mamata's man is saying, I am not obstructing you. Mamata's man is saying, the person whose house is this and the person who is the owner of this house and this office, that person is not present. Without his presence or her presence, I cannot let you enter.
আপনার কাছে আমার আবেদন যে যেহেতু তারা বাড়িতে
অবস্ট্রাকশনের বাংলাটা কি? আপনি আবেদনটা কার ভিত্তিতে করছেন? আপনি আবেদনটা কার ভিত্তিতে করছেন?
আপনারা কথা শুনলেন তো? আমার কথা হচ্ছে যেহেতু তার অফিস
I am talking, Mamata's man is saying I am talking to you because this is their office and I have been appointed by them to take responsibility of this office. But they are not present here. The CID officials are saying you are obstructing our investigation and you are obstructing our process of our right of searching this place.
আপনাকে জানানোর আগে তো চিঠি দেওয়া হয়েছে, রিপিটেড চিঠি দেওয়া হয়েছে।
আমি তো জানি না।
আপনি
CID official is saying we have given you repeated letters and summons. So we informed you before we arrived here. The Mamata's man is saying I don't know about any letter.
দিল্লি থেকে উনি থেকেও তো আমাদের কোঅপারেট করছেন না।
করবেন তো বলছি।
করবেন সে তার
আমি তো বলছি আপনাদের সঙ্গে কোঅপারেশন না করার কোনো ব্যাপার নেই।
তাহলে এতদিন তো হয়নি না, এইটার জন্যই তো আমরা
জানা ছিল না।
আমার তো ইনভেস্টিগেশন দিলে হচ্ছে না।
CID officials are saying our investigation is getting delayed because you are not answering to the letters and also not cooperating with the investigation. Mamata's man is saying I don't know all these information.
দিল্লিতে গেছে ইঞ্জিন মিটিং এ, ঠিক আছে?
আমাদেরকে সেইভাবে জানানো হয়নি।
আমি বলছি তাহলে আমি জানিয়ে দিচ্ছি আপনাকে আমার কাছে
এই এখন আমরা জানলাম না।
হ্যাঁ বলছি,
কিন্তু আমরা তো সেইভাবে
Mamata's man is saying we did not know about this. They are in Delhi. We know about this now, about this investigation now, but we cannot let you enter.
ঘটনা হচ্ছে অভিষেক ব্যানার্জিকে চিঠি দিয়েছে। ইন অ্যাবসেন্স অফ অভিষেক ব্যানার্জি আমি তো বলতে পারি না যে আপনি করুন।
Mamata's man is saying, they are saying, the CID officials are saying that they have given letter to Abhishek Banerjee, but I don't know anything about it.
ये लोग आज क्यों आए हैं? CID का आना क्या?
हम नहीं पता।
अभिषेक की आज पेशी थी शाम 5 बजे।
আবার বলছি কোনো বাধা দিচ্ছি না, আমি অ্যাপিল করছি। ডোন্ট সে এনিথিং। কোনটি কাজে এটাকে কখনো মিসলিড করবেন না। আমার কথা হচ্ছে ইনঅ্যাবসেন্স যার চিঠি নিয়ে উনি এসছেন তিনি নেই। আমি কোপারেশন বলছি টাইম দিই।
শুভাশিস দা সিআইডি আপনাকে কি বললো আর আপনি সিআইডি কে কি বললেন?
So it's very unclear. The conversation is unclear now. What I am getting from this conversation is the reporters are asking why did this person, this Mamata's man, Mamata's official did not allow the CID to enter. He's saying that the CID has told him that they have given several letters, but he did not know about those letters as Mamata Banerjee and Abhishek Banerjee are not present here. So he is not compelled to let the CID team enter into the residence. This is happening even when the CID team is waiting outside Mamata Banerjee's residence.
যে আপনি অভিষেক ব্যানার্জি চিঠি নিয়ে এসছে, আমরা সমস্ত কোঅপারেশন করবো। তারা এখন দিল্লিতে আছে, দিল্লি থেকে আসলেই আপনি কি মমতা বন্দ্যোপাধ্যায়কে জানাবেন?
আপনি মমতা বন্দ্যোপাধ্যায়কে জানিয়েছেন
आज उसकी पेशी थी दिल्ली में क्यों है? आज उसकी पेशी थी वो दिल्ली में क्यों है अभिषेक?
वो इंडिया का मीटिंग है ना,
वो कल हो गया, वो कल हो गया।
So Mamata's man, Subhashis Chakraborty, he's saying that Abhishek Banerjee has been, the CID team is saying that Abhishek Banerjee has been sent summons and letters. But Subhashis Chakraborty is saying that how would I know about these letters? I don't know about it. I just know about the office.
সিআইডি বলছে যে বাধা দিচ্ছেন।
সহযোগিতা করছেন না কেন?
আপনার একই কথা বলে আমি আপিল করতে এসেছি।
সিআইডি বলছে
সিআইডি কি বললো আমি জানি না,
কিন্তু তদন্ত
আমার আপিল যা চিঠি নিয়েছেন সেই নিয়ে ইন অ্যাবসেন্স অফ হিম আপনি উনি আসলে আপনার সঙ্গে গোপাল
ওনারা কি তল্লাশি করতে চাইছিলেন?
আমি আর কিছু বলতে পারবো না।
Mamata's man Subhashis Chakraborty is saying that we are cooperating with the investigation, but without the presence of the people who are allegedly involved, I cannot let them enter. I am responsible for the soft. So the CID team is still now present there outside, just opposite that area that they were not allowed to enter.
Yeah, Kishle, thanks a lot for the live translation and putting this into perspective. But this is live action, ladies and gentlemen. This is CID outside Mamata Banerjee's residence, but the team is not letting them enter and start the investigation. But we'll keep track of all the developments here. Coming up next, also CID at Mamata's residence. We'll bring you all the latest updates in this story. Coming up.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरी राजा
In the global employability rankings by Times Higher Education UK, only the following 6 institutions from India are ranked amongst the top 230 in the world for having the most employable graduates. IIT Delhi, IISc Bangalore, IIT Bombay, IIM Ahmedabad, IIT Kharagpur and Amity University.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच लस्सी और छाछ
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। अब बताओ स्वाद आया?
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
AU सेविंग्स अकाउंट में मिलते हैं अमेजिंग बेनिफिट्स, पेपरलेस बैंकिंग एंड हायर इंटरेस्ट, वो भी हर महीने।
मनी 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 एवरी मंथ। सोच बदलो और बैंक भी। आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
In fact, very often I believe the only way to get justice in India is a media trial. So there's no reason for the media, if it's doing a good job of a media trial, to be on the back foot. In fact, the courts should stop making these overarching remarks about media trial and contemplate about one very basic thing. With the greatest of respect to the courts, when the other institutions fail, when people get let down by the system, when even the judiciary does not seem to be listening or raising a noise about issues, like in the case of Twisha Sharma. Who does the public look to for justice, for raising their voice, for bringing something that's utterly false, illegal or wrong to public attention? It is only and only the media. And today, therefore, we are doing a media trial in this specific case, ladies and gentlemen, of Twisha Sharma, the 33-year-old daughter-in-law of an ex-judge in a case where the ex-judge and the ex-judge's advocate's son appear to be more than involved. Ladies and gentlemen, 15 questions tonight. And if they think it's a media trial, so be it. So be it. Why did the ex-judge in the case of Twisha Sharma, neither she nor her son call a police or an ambulance? What took them 57 minutes to bring the body down? Where are the 3 men who are seen in the video dragging Twisha's body, destroying evidence? What was the police doing? Did they question the house staff? Did they question the judge? Was Twisha carrying headphones in her bag, in her hand, or a rope? Where is it now? Where is that so-called belt that cops claim was used by her to commit suicide? Why was it hidden? The mother-in-law, the ex-judge, walks up calmly while the body is being dragged down and evidence is being destroyed before the judge's eyes. Is that normal? Why don't the judges raise a hue and cry about it? Why don't the appellate courts take up this case?
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच लस्सी और छाछ
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट, ड्राई फ्रूट और दही बड़े। चमकी चाट से स्वाद बढ़े।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
यानी इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रुंगटा स्टील टीएमटी से बना।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील टीएमटी बार एकदम सॉलिड।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरीडे।
प्यास बुझाए ठंडक लाए सबको भाए जीरा से MTH का जलजीरा जीरा से
जीरा सिप असली रिफ्रेशिंग, असली स्वाद, असली मजा।
I want to start with some very disturbing pictures that have come in of a so-called right-wing leader. His name is Sushil Prajapati. He is accused of rape. After being in jail for 9 months, he gets bail, which means he's still an accused. He's an accused in a rape case. And the case goes back to 2025 when he took an LLB student to one place on the pretext of introducing her to a senior advocate. He drugged her drink and then he sexually assaulted her. He is still under trial for rape. He has not been released. But when he comes out, this rape accused, garlands are put on him as if he's some kind of a hero, as if he's achieved something great. Is a rapist to be celebrated, ladies and gentlemen? I ask you that question. And more than anyone else, I ask the right wing of this country. Very often I come on television and I say, yes, on several issues, I'm happy to be called a right-winger. But ladies and gentlemen, let me put it clearly. You cannot let a person like this man, this Sushil Prajapati, a leader of the Hindu Yuva Vahini, a local thug, a man accused of rape, you cannot celebrate his act of rape or celebrate the fact that the rapist is out on bail. If that is the message we want to send to our society, and if all the BJP leaders want to be quiet about it, I want to ask them, why are they quiet about this? Why are they quiet? In the silence of the BJP leaders, is there a tacit support to this person? Is there a feeling that anyone who wears or puts a, proclaims that he is from a so-called Hindu organization, that he will be allowed to get away with absolutely everything, including an act of rape? Is there a feeling that this
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
AU सेविंग्स अकाउंट में मिलते हैं अमेजिंग बेनिफिट्स, पेपरलेस बैंकिंग एंड हायर इंटरेस्ट, वो भी हर महीने।
मनी 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 एवरी मंथ। सोच बदलो और बैंक भी।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच लस्सी और छाछ
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट, ड्राई फ्रूट और दही बड़े। चमकी चाट से स्वाद बढ़े।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
In fact, very often I believe the only way to get justice in India is a media trial. So there's no reason for the media, if it's doing a good job of a media trial, to be on the back foot. In fact, the courts should stop making these overarching remarks about media trial and contemplate about one very basic thing. With the greatest of respect to the courts, when the other institutions fail, when people get let down by the system, when even the judiciary does not seem to be listening or raising a noise about issues, like in the case of Twisha Sharma, who does the public look to for justice, for raising their voice, for bringing something that's utterly false, illegal or wrong to public attention. It is only and only the media. And today, therefore, we are doing a media trial in this specific case, ladies and gentlemen, of Twisha Sharma, the 33-year-old daughter-in-law of an ex-judge, in a case where the ex-judge and the ex-judge's advocate's son appear to be more than involved. Ladies and gentlemen, 15 questions tonight. And if they think it's a media trial, so be it. So be it. Why did the ex-judge in the case of Twisha Sharma, neither she nor her son call a police or an ambulance? What took them 57 minutes to bring the body down? Where are the 3 men who are seen in the video dragging Twisha's body, destroying evidence? What was the police doing? Did they question the house staff? Did they question the judge? Was Twisha carrying headphones in her bag, in her hand, or a rope? Where is it now? Where is that so-called belt that cops claim was used by her to commit suicide? Why was it hidden? The mother-in-law, the ex-judge, walks up calmly while the body is being dragged down and evidence is being destroyed before the judge's eyes. Is that normal? Why don't the judges raise a hue and cry about it? Why don't the appellate courts take up this case suo motu? So people don't start believing that when an ex-judge is concerned, the victim will never get justice. Ladies and gentlemen, what was the ex-judge carrying in her hand when she went down? Where is all the CCTV footage? Did the police collect it? Why did the ex-judge's son Samarth Singh escape after bringing the body of his wife to AIIMS? Is it true that the ex-judge's son's medical examination was not conducted? The police station is right behind the ex-judge's Giribala.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Anti-Pakistan and anti-Munir protests in POK, 27 killed in firing and more than 200 injured by Pakistani Rangers as per the Joint Awami Action Committee. Pakistan faces global backlash over violence in POK. Over 50 UK MPs write to Pakistan over massacre. Zepto's business model, foreign investment under ED scanner, co-founder Adit Palicha reportedly questioned by ED under FEMA. Direct impact of Republic expose on VVIP treatment to Giribala, deputy jailer of Central Bhopal Jail, removed. Republic was the only channel to report on VVIP treatment to Giribala, and now action follows. Deputy jailer Jaya Yadav has been removed. CID arrives at Mamata's Kali Ghat residence in connection with signature forgery case. We'll get you all the latest updates of this. All right, viewers, let's take you to Kali Ghat. CID arrives at Mamata's Kali Ghat residence in connection with the signature forgery case, and these are the live visuals, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, this is live action happening, and we assume that something big is going to happen because this is very big deployment that we are seeing right now. Huge deployment, and not just the police and the special teams have also arrived. The CID is there, and the security forces also there. All you can see, this is live action. That is a crowd for crowd control also. There's security personnel also there. As you can see, huge deployment of security personnel. Let's go across to Kishle for all the latest developments. Kishle, we can see a lot of development happening, heavy security deployment, because this is Mamata Banerjee's residence, Kishle.
Well, exactly. The CID team was stopped from entering the residence of Mamata Banerjee, ex-Chief Minister of West Bengal. Hence, additional central forces are now brought in. We have to see whether the CID team has to enter forcibly, because they have warrant. They have search warrant. They have papers. They have sent summons 3 times to Chor Bhaipo Abhishek Banerjee. In spite of that fact, he did not arrive. He did not appear before the CID. Now the CID team has reached Mamata Banerjee's residence. They tried to have a conversation with the official who was present inside the residence. While having that conversation, the CID officials insisted several times that please do not stop our investigation. Please cooperate with our investigation. We have a search warrant. We have to go inside and see the place of occurrence, the place of crime where signatures were forged. That was inside Mamata Banerjee's house where that meeting happened and signatures were forged. But the treasurer of TMC, Mamata's man, Subhashish Chakraborty, he said that because Mamata Banerjee and Abhishek Banerjee, Bhaipo Abhishek Banerjee is not present here, so I cannot let you enter this place. So the CID team almost had to insist several times, but they were not allowed inside, in spite of having papers. And legally they were sound before entering, or they had everything required to search this place. But right now we see the CID officials are present, women officials are present, Kolkata police officials are present, and additional security forces, central forces are brought into the place. Just see the number of officials present there. Hundreds of CID officials, thousands of officials, including, I don't know what is the number, 500, 600 central forces are continuously brought into the area in Kalighat 30B, Horish Chatterjee Street, where Mamata Banerjee's residence is there. As we speak, Mamata Banerjee has entered 10 Janpat, Sonia Gandhi's residence. She's there right now as we speak. On the other hand, we see that this huge number of forces, including CID officials, including all these Kolkata police officials, they are present in front of Mamata Banerjee's residence. They are waiting to enter. They want to search the location because this is the place, according to the reports, where the signature forgery happened, where exactly all the signatures of the TMC MLAs were forged, and there was a complaint to the speaker, and the speaker forwarded that complaint to the CID and the police, and the CID has taken up the responsibility of conducting this particular inquiry and investigation. So that is the live situation there. Mamata Banerjee's residence, we see someone is trying to speak. I think this is also a CID official. All these are CID officials. And probably they are calling, they have asked for additional central forces as well. And we see all these senior officials of CID present in front of Mamata's residence.
Right, Kishle. In fact, those are some grim visuals that we're getting in. Take a look at the amount of crowd, media persons, and of course CID officials who are right outside Mamata Banerjee's residence. In fact, Kishle, this follows right after CID also reached Abhishek Banerjee's Kalighat residence, and he was nowhere to be seen. And even now, when they have a search warrant, like you say, they are not getting an entry inside the former Chief Minister's residence in West Bengal, Mamata Banerjee's residence. Neither is she anywhere to be seen. So this is almost like an established pattern that the TMC is following. They are not cooperating with the probing agencies. Kishle.
Exactly. Now, Abhishek Banerjee, Bhaipo Abhishek Banerjee, he was summoned time, sent 3 letters. He did not reply to any of that. And now we see, I think there is again a conversation happening between Subhashish Chakraborty and we are live at Bangla PJM, where we see Subhashish Chakraborty again coming out of the residence and the CID officials insisting again. And right now, CID officials, what you were saying is very correct. Abhishek Banerjee summoned many times, ignored all the summons, did not care about the notices sent to him, did not even appear before the CID. In fact, in one of the sound bites, he also challenged that if you can, then arrest me. So that was kind of the attitude that he was showing. And now, this is the place where there is a party office, in fact, just close to Mamata Banerjee's house. And inside Mamata Banerjee's house as well, there is a room which has been assigned as a TMC party office. Now, in this particular office, there was a meeting of the MLAs which happened where Shobhandev Chattopadhyay's name was proposed as the leader of opposition. And there was a document with many MLAs' signature in it. And the location that was mentioned in this document is 30B Horish Chatterjee Street, which means that this is the location, Mamata Banerjee's house, where the whole drama, where the whole crime of forging signature of the MLAs took place. So CID has reached the location to understand the nature of the crime, where it happened. This is a routine part of the investigation. But that routine part of the investigation has been hampered, has been stopped by the officials present inside Mamata Banerjee's residence, including her treasurer, Subhashish Chakraborty, TMC's treasurer. They were talking to the CID. The CID team has said that please don't, there will be consequences if you stop our investigation. So don't allow that to happen. On the other hand, in answer, Subhashish Chakraborty was saying that please give us 2 days of time because the owner of this house, of this residence, and the name you're talking about, Abhishek Banerjee, they are not present here. So if they're not present here, I cannot let you enter this place. So this is the conversation they were having a while back. The CID team still insisted. They were continuously saying that this is a way of hampering the investigation process and there will be consequences to it. Now, live visuals coming in from Kolkata. The biggest breaking news of the nation right now probably. CID team has reached ex-Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee's residence as Mamata Banerjee has entered a while back at 10 Janpat, Sonia Gandhi's house. A huge CID team is present in front of her house, ready to enter the house and search according to the investigation process. This is the crime scene. This is the location where the crime happened, and therefore the CID team has a warrant to search this location. However, they have been stopped by Mamata Banerjee's team, and now there has been additional security and central forces that are brought in. We have to see what happens next.
Right, Kishle. In fact, viewers, those are the visuals that are coming in live from outside a former Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee's residence. CID action right outside her residence where the team is waiting with a search warrant. In fact, they have arrived outside Mamata Banerjee's residence. These are live shots of the CID and also the security forces who are standing guard outside Mamata Banerjee's residence. But it's notable to see that there are no signs of the former Chief Minister. Nobody from her residence has come out yet to speak to the CID, the West Bengal police and the forces that are deployed outside. They have a search warrant in their hand, but they're not being allowed any entry. And the question is, if Mamata Banerjee does not have anything to hide, why must she not let the search warrant be carried out against her at her residence? These are the visuals that are coming in live from outside Mamata Banerjee's residence, exclusively being brought to you by a Republic Bangla newsroom. In fact, they're tracking this case very closely. Kishle, my colleague, remains with me on the broadcast. In fact, just yesterday, Abhishek Banerjee's house, also Kalighat residence, saw similar visuals unfold, with about 6-person team of the CID outside his residence, and they were denied any entry. They were not being given any answers at all. In fact, Abhishek Banerjee did not even come out to speak to the CID personnel who arrived at his residence. And similar scenes unfolding right outside Mamata Banerjee's residence, where no response is being given to the CID officials who are waiting with a search warrant in their hand. They are legally allowed to take a search of a residence, and that's not being allowed. In fact, the TMC has established this as a regular pattern. pattern. This has been happening. They do not cooperate with the probing agencies, especially central agencies, over just one allegation time and again that has never been proven, that these central agencies are hand in glove with the BJP government. Now remember, intense action is ongoing against Trinamool Congress in the state over their criminal records since the last 15 years. Everybody is being narrowed down on, like the Chief Minister, Suvendu Adhikari, maintained his resolve that he will bring all the perpetrators to justice. And even then, CID is not being able to carry out their work. Mamata Banerjee nowhere to be seen, no spokesperson that's speaking to the CID officials as they continue waiting with an arrest, with a search warrant in their hands. This is the plight that politicians have created when it comes to law and order. This is how they are getting in between law and order. And now, viewers, shifting focus to Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, where tensions have flared across the area after JAAC accused Pakistani security forces of carrying out a violent crackdown on protesters and mourners. Now, allegedly, this has left dozens of protesters dead and hundreds of them injured. The unrest comes ahead of a major shutdown call that was issued by the JAAC today, with demonstrations spreading across several parts of the region. Now, according to the JAAC leaders, at least 27 protesters were brutally killed and over 200 others are injured, while 100 individuals have been detained during the operations of crackdown that have been conducted by the Pakistani military and the Pakistani Rangers and security personnel. These are the visuals on your screens right now. Pakistan-occupied Kashmir remains on the edge.
वो देख सकते हैं पीछे आंसू गैस मारी जा रही है, स्टिल आंसू गैस मारी जा रही है और स्ट्रेट फायरिंग की जा रही है।
Viewers, these are the visuals coming in live from Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. A tension that has been relentlessly fighting against the Pakistani regime, against the Pakistani military and their authoritarian style being carried out in the entire region. And these protests have remained relentless. At least 27 protesters have been killed. Just today, we also showed you the visuals of Pakistani Rangers unleashing pellets, unleashing tear gas on protesters. And this is happening to people in POK as we speak. Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, a blatant violation of human rights. In fact, this is also taken to the global stage. UK MPs, at least 50 of them, have written to the Pakistani government demanding accountability and answers. In fact, my colleague Gursimran also joins us live to get us more details into the matter. Gursimran, speak to us about the authoritarianism that's unfolding in a POK. 27 people have been killed, 200 others are injured.
Gisu, if we speak of the present situation that is prevailing in Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, that holds true what the people of POK have been saying time and again, that ye jo dahshatgardi hai, iske piche vardi hai. Now it has been proved. The way the conduct of the Pakistani armed forces is there on a peaceful protest, this speaks volumes about the policy of the state and the doctrine that the Pakistani armed forces are following when it comes to tackling any protest or any of the uprising that is there against their misdeeds and misconducts that they have been doing in Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. Let's speak what the demands of these POK protesters are. This conglomerate organization, Joint Awami Action Committee, they have very few and simple demands. First, they do not want any of the outsider to represent them. They want their own people to be their ministers. They want their funds to be used for their own.
In fact, the Ministry of External Affairs, Randhir Jaiswal, the spokesperson, has also issued a statement regarding the protests that are ongoing in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, the massacre that's been carried out by the Pakistani forces and Rangers. Let's listen into Randhir Jaiswal.
Siddhant questions are similar, so let me take that first. This is regarding the protest in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, as also other related issues. We continue to see in this context a pattern of fake news and videos emanating from Pakistan. It is a desperate attempt by Pakistan to cover up its own failings and deflect attention away from its human rights abuses. There are reports of police brutality, which you would have seen. There are several reports in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir in which 7 people have been killed. There are several more who have been injured. We hope the international community will hold Pakistan accountable for its misdeeds and its abuses.
In fact, Gursimran continues being with us on the broadcast. Gursimran, pick up from where you left exactly. Blatant violation of human rights that we see is happening right now. The MEA has also issued a statement. They have recounted, they have, asked the international community to hold Pakistan accountable over these violations.
Yes, what Randeep Jaiswal said, that holds true, because it is the blatant human rights violation that is happening in Pakistan. And now, by narrative building, Pakistan is trying to give it a color that a terror organization is holding the protest all across the POJK, actually taking these soldiers, these troops from the different Pakistan Army, Pakistani Rangers and the Frontier Corps at gunpoint. That is what the narrative Pakistan is trying to build. Now coming to the situation on ground, the demands continue to be very simple. Our land, our rights, our resources, our right. That is what the people of the POJK, especially this conglomerate organization, Joint Action, Awami Action Committee, is demanding. They are saying that what we want the wheat and the rice. They are at subsidized prices. Electricity that is being generated from their land, that at the subsidized price. They are saying that all resources are being sent to the rest of the Pakistan. They are getting it at the average prices, while the people of POJK, they have to pay exorbitant prices so that they can get these resources. So this is actually their struggle is for. But Pakistani armed forces, which actually rule Pakistan, they have suffered on both the fronts. They have failed to actually suppress the situation. They have failed to contain the situation. And second was the internet clampdown. That was for the sole reason that the international community do not get to know about what is happening in POJK. For that aspect, they have completely failed, because the people of POJK, they have not only resisted to Pakistani atrocities, but have ensured that the global world gets to know that what is happening there, and this global arena now knows what is happening in Pakistan. The videos of the brutalities of the Pakistan have come forth, where the people were moving in groups just to express their resentment against the government, but government resorted to firing upon them, and many of them have been killed. The death count has already reached the double digit, and the injury count is in 3 digits. Many of them are still serious, and now the next 2 days, Gesu, is going to be very crucial. Reason being that it will first reach Poonch, and then it will reach Muzaffarabad in Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. And this is said to be the decisive point in the history of POJK, as being said by the leadership of Joint Action Awami Committee.
Right, Gursimran, thanks for getting us a lowdown. In fact, viewers, let's also quickly listen in to what the Ministry of External Affairs has said as they ask the international forums to take full action against the blatant human rights violation that's right now ongoing in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir.
We continue to see in this context a pattern of fake news and videos emanating from Pakistan. It is a desperate attempt by Pakistan to cover up its own failings and deflect attention away from its human rights abuses. There are reports of police brutality, which you would have seen. There are several reports in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, in which several people have been killed. There are several more who have been injured. We hope the international community will hold Pakistan accountable for its misdeeds and its abuses.
In fact, viewers, we're getting in some more breaking development from Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Now, the situation has spiraled out of control completely in the area. The Pakistani army has, in fact, opened fire on protesters, and at least 30 people have been confirmed to be dead by now. More details remain awaited, but the death toll has climbed now, and it stands at 30 people as per our information and our sources. The Pakistani army has also resorted to opening fire in the Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, the area that remains tense. In fact, these are the visuals on your screens of the Pakistani Rangers who've opened fire on protesters as they run for their life. In fact, this started this morning with pellet bullets being fired at the protesters, and quickly this has turned into something extremely violative, with the Pakistani Rangers and the military opening fire at the protesters. An earlier death toll of 27 has now climbed to 30 people, and remember, more than 200 others are injured and 100 have been detained. Gursimran continues being with us on the broadcast. Gursimran, the death toll has mounted. The death toll is now at 30 people in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir.
Yes, I guess you have rightly mentioned that the streets of Pakistan have turned red. It is due to the blood of the people of Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. But it was very clear from the start, because if you remember that from 2023, when this Joint Awami Action Committee was formed, to 2024 May, to 2025 September, to 2026 June, every time they started their rebellion against the Pakistani government, what they were aware of, that it is going to go red. And it is before the start when one of the senior leader, Umar Kashmiri, was targeted by the Pakistani forces. There came the first killing, that was Shehzad Habib, who was killed by the Pakistani forces. And on his funeral, when he was being taken to the funeral site, though it was disrupted by the armed forces, few words came from the top leadership of the Joint Action Awami Committee that we are going to give our lives for the cause, and everyone has to be prepared for this. So all those people who are coming to the streets of POJK, they are ready for the sacrifice, and 30 lives have been lost. But the people of POJK, they know that these sacrifices will bring them their rights. These sacrifices will bring them the reality that it is their resources, and their resources will come to them only based on these sacrifices. The brutality of Pakistan with these sacrifices is coming open to the global arena, and many of the countries are now understanding that what Pakistan is, a country that claims to be the peace torch bearers for the world, is the one that is suppressing their own people. Reason being that they want to use the POJK as colony, not their people as their own.
Right, Gursimran. In fact, we're getting in some more breaking developments. Viewers, now the Islamabad Bar Association and High Court Bar and Bar Council have expressed sadness over the situation that's unfolding in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. They've in fact also emphasized resolving the issues through dialogue. So now Pakistan military's brutality is being called out by Islamabad Bar Association, as well as more and more voices from within Pakistan grow stronger against the massacre that's ongoing in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. The Islamabad Bar Association, the High Court Bar, and even the Bar Council has expressed sadness over the unfolding situation in POK. And they've in fact emphasized resolving these issues through dialogue and not violence, a blatant violation of human rights on the streets of Pakistan in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. And remember, this is not the first time that this has happened, but this is a turning point where POK has now decided to not step back its agitation against Pakistan and Pakistan's military and Asim Munir. Anti-Munir protests, anti-Pakistan protests have completely gripped Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, and now not just the international forums, not just India's External Affairs Ministry, but also Islamabad Bar Association has spoken against the massacre that's ongoing. Let's also listen into the first-hand accounts of the protesters and what they're going through and what their demands are.
जिन्होंने खुद लड़ के आज़ादी हासिल की और आपके साथ आकर बैठे हुए, मुझे कितना अफसोस होता है कि आज हमारे ये दोस्त यहाँ आके मुजाहरा कर रहे हैं। आपको कोई होश के नाखुन लेने चाहिए। ये जो यूज ऑफ फोर्स है, ये जो आपका माइंड सेट है, लाहौर से 2 अफसरान को लाकर कश्मीर पे मुसल्लत किया गया है। ये वही अफसर है जिसकी अभी भी वीडियो पड़ी हुई है सोशल मीडिया के ऊपर, जो कहता है 1000 बंदा मार दो तो पाकिस्तान के हालात दुरुस्त हो सकते हैं। इसी तरह से 2024 में लाहौर का इलेक्शन चोरी करने वाला जो एक कर्नल था, ब्रिगेडियर बन के, वो कश्मीर पे मुसल्लत कर दिया गया है। मुझे आप एक सवाल का जवाब दें, कश्मीरी वजीर आजम बन सकता है, कश्मीरी सदर कश्मीर का बन सकता है, तो वहाँ पे IG क्यों बाहर चलाया जाता है? तो इसी वजह से ये आज हालात पैदा हुए हैं। ये थोड़ा सा माइंड सेट चेंज करने की जरूरत है। ये माइंड सेट डिफेंस रहे हैं, ये पूंछ के लोग ही थे जिन्होंने खुद लड़ के आज़ादी हासिल की और आपके साथ आकर बैठे हुए। मुझे कितना अफसोस होता है कि आज हमारे ये दोस्त यहाँ आके मुजाहरा कर रहे हैं।
And viewers, that's all that we could wrap for you in this edition. But the situation in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir remains grim. Not just that. Now voices have started gathering against the Pakistani administration, against Asim Munir, over the human rights violation that's ongoing in POK. We're getting you all the details on the other side.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
आलू चाट या फ्रूट चाट,
स्वाद बनाए चमकी चाट।
क्या बात है? स्वादिष्ट पकोड़े और परेशान, अरे चमकी चाट है इसकी जान।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा,
राजा आटे और मसाला।
I want to start with some very disturbing pictures that have come in of a so-called right-wing leader. His name is Sushil Prajapati. He is accused of rape. After being in jail for 9 months, he gets bail, which means he's still an accused. He's an accused in a rape case. And the case goes back to 2025 when he took an LLB student to one place on the pretext of introducing her to a senior advocate. He drugged her drink and then he sexually assaulted her. He is still under trial for rape. He has not been released. But when he comes out, this rape accused, garlands are put on him as if he's some kind of a hero, as if he's achieved something great. Is a rapist to be celebrated, ladies and gentlemen? I ask you that question. And more than anyone else, I ask the right wing of this country. Very often I come on television and I say, yes, on several issues, I'm happy to be called a right-winger. But ladies and gentlemen, let me put it clearly. You cannot let a person like this man, this Sushil Prajapati, a leader of the Hindu Yuva Vahini, a local thug, a man accused of rape, you cannot celebrate his act of rape or celebrate the fact that the rapist is out on bail. If that is the message we want to send to our society, and if all the BJP leaders want to be quiet about it, I want to ask them, why are they quiet about this? Why are they quiet? In the silence of the BJP leaders, is there a tacit support to this person? Is there a feeling that anyone who wears or puts a, proclaims that he is from a so-called Hindu organization, that he will be allowed to get away with absolutely everything, including an act of rape? Is there a feeling that this man, do right-wingers feel, this man, this accused rapist is one of our own? So hence, regardless of what happens, one of our own should never be accused. It's like all those people, those radical Islamists who say that as long...
Anti-Pakistan and anti-Munir protests in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. 27 killed. In fact, the death toll is only rising now. More than 200 injured by Pakistan Rangers, as per the Joint Awami Action Committee. Pakistan faces global backlash over violence in POK. Over 50 UK MPs write to Pakistan over massacre. Zepto's business model, foreign investment under ED scanner. Co-founder Adit Palicha reportedly questioned by ED under the FEMA. Direct impact of Republic expose on VVIP treatment given to Giribala Singh. Deputy jailer of Central Bhopal Jail removed. Republic, the only channel to report first on VVIP treatment to Giribala, and now the action follows. Deputy jailer Jaya Yadav removed. CID arrives at Mamata's Kalighat residence in connection with signature forgery case. They come with a search warrant. TMC treasurer blocks them. Good evening, viewers. You're watching Live and Breaking. I'm Dr. Tamisha with you. Let's go straight across to Pakistan. The action happening where Pakistan police has again stopped Imran Khan's sisters from meeting him outside the Adiala jail. And viewers, Tuesday is the day that's set for Imran Khan to meet his family. But for the past 639 days, Imran Khan has been kept in imprisonment. He's been imprisoned and he's not being allowed to meet his family. That's the breaking news we have right now. And you can see the visuals coming in from outside the Adiala jail. You can see the heavy deployment, security police deployment. And you have that visual coming in where the family members are waiting to meet him, but the supporters also gathered there, but they're not allowed to meet. They're not allowed to meet Imran Khan. And we've seen many a times such scenes unfolding outside Adiala jail. There have been protests after protests, and in fact now you have another example of how Imran Khan's family has been blocked. And viewers, we have my colleague Gursimran Singh joining us for more. Gursimran, there have been multiple claims that have been made by the PTI, by the Tehreek-e-Insaf party of Imran Khan, that there are legal rights that have been denied to Imran Khan, that even healthcare has been denied to Imran Khan. And Tuesday is when he is supposed to meet his family, but he's again blocked. What are you picking up? What do the jail authorities say? Why don't they not let Imran Khan meet their family, his family?
See, it was on the court orders that every Tuesday the family members and those in the list can meet Imran Khan. And we have seen Sohail Khan Afridi, the Chief Minister of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, also heading to meet, but has been denied time and again. This time, the sister of Imran Khan has been denied access to Imran Khan. Halima Khan, along with her relatives and the security detail, she went to the Adiala jail, but the authorities said that they do not have permission. So it is also a violation of the court orders, but this has been going on since long, because despite the court orders, the jail authorities cite the one reason or the other, not allowing the Imran Khan sister to meet him. And also, even last time, his legal team was also denied access to Imran Khan, though they moved to the court again and they got the orders. And this time, Alina Khanum, along with her family and the security detail and some leaders from the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, they went to meet Imran Khan, but they were denied as usual by the Pakistan jail authorities, that they will not be allowed to meet Imran Khan.
Right, man. Thanks, Gursimran, for joining us with details coming in on that story. Viewers, meanwhile, let's shift our focus to what's happening. The action happening outside Mamata Banerjee's Kalighat residence. High drama is unfolding there. A CID arrived with a search warrant at her residence in connection with the signature forgery case. Same case where Abhishek Banerjee has been summoned time and again, and all the summons he has skipped. Now, Mamata Banerjee is in Delhi to meet the Congress leader Sonia Gandhi at her residence after the India Alliance meet. And now you have these visuals coming in from Kalighat residence of Mamata Banerjee, where the aides of Mamata, they're all there at her residence, and they are not letting the CID, which has a search warrant with it. The officials have a search warrant with them. They have women officials also there from the CID. They all have they have the search warrant. Despite that, they are being blocked. They are not allowed to conduct searches at Mamata Banerjee's residence. You can see the visuals coming in. In fact, the CID officials are also capturing every scene from outside this residence of Mamata Banerjee, where they've been waiting for a long time. Live visuals also coming in once again from a different vantage point. You can see Mamata Banerjee's residence. It's first on Republic TV. And Mamata Banerjee today has met Sonia Gandhi. And you have this situation that is dramatic. She's not there at her residence. But it's because that they want to conduct a search operation, search at the residence of Mamata Banerjee. which they have the right to because they have a search warrant, but they are being obstructed by the TMC treasurer, also by Shubhashish Chakraborty. We have Saurav also outside Sonia Gandhi's residence in the national capital. All right, Saurav, what are you picking up today? Has Mamata Banerjee said anything about what's happening in her party and the action that is being taken and the heat from the agencies on the signature forgery case today? We just saw the visuals of her meeting Sonia Gandhi. What else can you share with us?
Rakshita, currently the meeting of Mamata Banerjee and Sonia Gandhi is currently underway as we speak. However, as far as this CID raids are concerned, this is in connection with the forgery case against the TMC leader Abhishek Banerjee, and the CID and CBI has issued 3 summons to him, and notably yesterday only the CBI and CID has issued a summon to him to give some answers. They were seeking some answers regarding the forgery case. However, again, Abhishek Banerjee has not presented himself in front of the officers, and now as we speak a raid is going on at Mamata Banerjee's Kolkata residence, and there are a huge number of CBI officials, CID officials present there. They also have a search warrant. However, that treasurer of the TMC, Shubhashish Chakraborty, he is not letting them conduct their duties. He is obstructing them. And currently, Mamata Banerjee is meeting with Sonia Gandhi, and TMC has also suffered a major jolt in the past 2 days, as more than 20 MLAs are going to merge with the BJP. They have extended their support to the NDA government, and I want to tell our viewers that there are only a total 28 MLAs in the Lok Sabha from the TMC party. However, 20 of them is now supporting the NDA. However, they have also wrote a letter to Speaker Om Birla, who is not in Delhi today. That is why he did not give TMC leaders, TMC MPs time to meet with him. However, they have written a letter to the Speaker Om Birla, and they will be shortly meeting him regarding all the updates and the rumors that more than 20 MLAs will be merging with the BJP, and they will be extending their support to the NDA government, which have recently formed the government in West Bengal. Back to you, Rakshita.
All right, man. Thanks there, sort of joining us with details coming in on that story. In fact, we continue to track. We have more visuals, in fact, coming in from outside Sonia Gandhi's residence from Delhi, and also from Mamata Banerjee's residence in Kolkata now. And let's go across to Kishula if we have him with us right now, so as to get more updates, what's happening on ground, because the search warrant, the CID has a search warrant to conduct searches at Mamata Banerjee's Kalighat residence in connection with this signature forgery scam, because allegedly we've been told that the signatures that there's a connection with the residence, with the place of those of that forgery, with that act of forgery. We'll try and get more details on that also. These are the 2 visuals that we have from different vantage points, viewers from Kolkata, and we'll try and get more updates from our correspondent in Kolkata for that. And CID team is there at Abhishek Banerjee's Kamak Street office also. So at Abhishek's residence, you have the left visual, viewers, on your left side, CID at Abhishek Banerjee's residence again, and at Mamata's residence, you see the CID. So the heat is on the Banerjees. Baipo Abhishek Banerjee and Mamata Banerjee struggling to save her party, unable to save her party from breaking apart, going away from her. And now the signature row is only heating up as we see the CID team at Mamata Banerjee's house, and now at Abhishek Banerjee's residence. He has skipped multiple summons. He was summoned for today also. He was summoned by the CID today also in connection with the signature forgery case. But he, of course, has skipped those summons again. So the CID team is at his doorstep again, but we do not see if he is going to come out, or is he even present at his residence or not. That is the big update we're getting right now. Abhishek Banerjee got the third CID notice yesterday. It was the third CID notice. And today, again, we see that he has skipped this summons. And live visual now coming in from Abhishek Banerjee's residence. You can see there's a big team of CID has reached his doorstep, and they're trying to look for him, trying for him to appear before the investigators. He's supposed to appear before the investigators at the Bhavani Bhavan headquarters of the CID. It was a 24-hour deadline issued to Banerjee. Kishola joins us live on the broadcast. For more, Kishola, tell us more details. Now we have the CID team at Abhishek Banerjee's residence. The deadline was, I think, 5 p.m. today.
Well, exactly. The deadline of appearing was before 5 p.m., but it's almost 5 p.m. and Abhishek Banerjee Bhaipo is still now in Delhi. That is what we are getting to know. So there is no chance that Bhaipo will appear today before the CID. Now, Kamak Street is the office of Bhaipo Abhishek Banerjee. It is the office from where all the official work of Abhishek Banerjee used to happen before the election and still now happens. We know that there is one office at Salt Lake of IPAC and one office at Kamak Street where Bhaipo's own employees used to sit, and he himself had a chamber inside that office. So CID team in that particular office at Kamak Street, where everything that Chor Bhaipo used to do, quote unquote Chor Bhaipo used to happen from here at Kamak Street. On the other hand, a CID team, a huge team, is inside Mamata Banerjee's residence, her official residence, 30B Horish Chatterjee Street. The CID team is inside that residence, conducting a search operation per se, because we know that this is the location where the whole signature forgery case happened. The whole signature forgery happened at this particular location after a meeting at 30B Horish Chatterjee Street. The mastermind of this forgery, according to that report, was Abhishek Banerjee. So Abhishek Banerjee's office is at Kamak Street. There's CID team at Kamak Street, and what happened at 30B Horish Chatterjee Street. And so there's a CID team at Horish Chatterjee Street. Both of these locations are very crucial in this regard. CID team has reached there. They're conducting search operation. They're searching the location. They're trying to understand exactly where this forgery happened, who was present, how did it happen. They might also look at the CCTV cameras. They're looking at the location, the area where it happened. And also in Kamak Street, they're looking at the documents which were there, in fact, connected to this signature forgery case. Also, on the other hand, there are several other cases against Bhaipo, Chor Bhaipo Abhishek Banerjee. So we have to see exactly what documents CID is looking at right now as we speak.
Right. So viewers, we are getting those visuals from outside Abhishek Banerjee's office, where the CID team has just reached at the Kamak Street, and you have a CID team at Mamata's residence. Kishola, if you're still with us, tell us the connection as far as the Mamata Banerjee's residence is concerned. Why is Mamata Banerjee's residence to be searched?
This is the location which was mentioned in the document where the signature forgery case happened. I mean, the document itself where the signatures were present, the forged signatures. In that signature, the location which was mentioned was 30B Horish Chatterjee Street. There's a room inside this house of Mamata Banerjee, which is also a party office for the TMC. And in this office of Mamata Banerjee, there was a meeting of TMC MLAs where a document was prepared in which signatures were made of MLAs who were not even present there. So the location was 30B Horish Chatterjee Street, but the date was probably 6th of May. The location and that date is important because on that location, on that particular date at that location, those MLAs were not present whose name was signed in that document. And that document is in the hands of CID right now. as we speak. So CID there at that location to see.
Okay, Kishalai, thank you so much. We have to, we will continue to get more details from you on that. But right now we shift our focus back to the massacre that's unfolding in POK, where tensions have flaring across Pakistan. Occupied Kashmir under the GAAC accused Pakistani security forces of carrying out a violent crackdown on protesters and mourners. Okay, we'll just try and get more voices on this story. We have Amjad Ayub Mirza, POJK political activist, joining us on the broadcast. Mr. Mirza, thank you for joining us on Republic TV, sir. It's all out on camera. We'll play out those bites also of many of the protesters who are, in fact, right now, their blood is boiling. And, this is brutality that is on camera, how guns, how the bullets have been unleashed on these protesters who are unarmed. Once again, it's a testimony to Pakistan's human rights violations and how they use brute force.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. You see, what happened is they started arresting people prior to today's call for a general strike, and then during the arrest, when the arrest people resisted the arrest, they opened fire, killing Shahzeb, who was a central core member of the Joint Awami Action Committee. And then people gathered outside the hospital to get his body, and they did not give his body. Instead, there were thousands of people, so they came from all sides and they started shooting live rounds, straight fire, killing what I have been told about 400. Sorry, my throat is all dry because of talking so much. So they started massacring. Then they cut off the lights of the Rawalakot city and they started entering people's houses. The Pakistan forces started looting whatever amount of gold the woman had in their houses as a saving for the dowry or for themselves or a rainy day. They started looting the electronic devices. They started snatching the mobile phones. They started disrespecting our women, pulling them by the hair, tearing their clothes, beating the children, and even shooting at minors when they were resisting. Now, people are trying to compare this to Balochistan. This is not Balochistan. Balochistan is fighting a struggle. They are in a struggle for independence. That is a different scenario altogether. Here, people were demanding their civic rights. And this I call an invasion. After 22nd of October, 1947, when Pakistan invaded Jammu and Kashmir and conducted a war of aggression, this is the second time that Pakistan has attacked our territory. It has attacked Indians' territory, which is under the occupation of Pakistan. And the Prime Minister of the so-called Azad Kashmir says he has no knowledge of who has permitted these forces to enter. Exactly the same situation like Hari Singh faced during that time. The only difference was Hari Singh was a patriot, but these are bootlickers of Pakistan Army. And now the situation is that from my hometown, I just received a message saying one person has been shot dead in my hometown of Mirpur. So it is a total chaos. Pakistan security forces, military, they are shooting at will, they are shooting at sight. But despite of this, you can see in your, even now you're showing the footage, thousands and hundreds of thousands of people have, come out on the streets and are protesting, are holding public rallies. Shaukat Nawaz Mir has turned up as well. So people are resilient, people are unarmed, but they're trying to fight back with stones or, with whatever they can manage. So this is the situation.
That it was brewing for a long time, sir. Because be it the economy, be it the violations and, a rule that was, changing of the laws, everything was happening for decades, sir. And nobody from the international community has also ever taken up this. Nobody has taken up this cause. Trump continues to back these people, and then they have their agencies to lecture everybody on human rights, but not Pakistan. And Pakistan has a record since 1971 to, in fact, unleash brutality and, conduct mass, like the massacres, mass rape in Bangladesh, what it did in 1971 and till date. In Balochistan, from Balochistan to Khyber Pakhtunkhwa to Gilgit to what's happening right now in POK, sir. Isn't it time that the international community should also, start putting the spotlight and raise questions? It took so many decades for, MPs in, in Parliament of the British to now write to Pakistan.
Well, the British parliamentarians who have written to Pakistan are hypocrites of the worst order.
Yes.
I tell you that. They are the hypocrites of the worst order. And the reason I say that is because they come from constituencies which are dominated by Pakistani-occupied Jammu Kashmir Kashmiris.
Yes.
So they are under pressure from their local community. That's why they have spoken up right now. But they are total hypocrites. They are, they follow the narrative of Pakistan. They are hybrid Pakistanis living and sitting in the parliament. I don't believe them. I don't trust them. What I am asking is, where is Owaisi? बड़ा झंडा ऐसे लहरा रहा था भारतीय लोकसभा में फलस्तीन का. Where is he now? Where is Mehbooba Mufti? Where is Umar Abdullah? Where are the Kashmiri Muslims? These mullahs who have turned India into a sectarian communal nightmare. Where are they now? Where are they? They have not got tongue in their mouth to issue statements. Why is there no solidarity protest called by Umar Abdullah for the POJK in Jammu and Kashmir? Why? Why is he hiding behind Kashmiriyat? Kashmiriyat? What Kashmiriyat? These people who are being shot at, they are citizens of Jammu and Kashmir. They are citizens by default of India as well.
Right,
so
sir.
I am aghast at the hypocrisy of the Indian so-called Muslim leadership who have nothing to do with Islam, who have nothing to do with the Muslim solidarity and everything to do with
Very
hypocrisy.
rightly pointed out there, Amjad Ayub Mirza. Appreciate you joining us. Thank you so much for joining us on Republic TV. That's all the time, unfortunately, we have on this edition, viewers. But we continue to bring you the reality that's right now unfolding, and it's before the world to see what's happening in POJK. We continue to bring you more news and updates. Right now, it's time for a very, very short break.
Our pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है
सैंडविच लस्सी और छाछ
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट अब बताओ स्वाद आया
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट.
In fact, very often I believe the only way to get justice in India is a media trial. So there's no reason for the media, if it's doing a good job of a media trial, to be on the back foot. In fact, the courts should stop making these overarching remarks about media trial and contemplate about one very basic thing. With the greatest of respect to the courts, when the other institutions fail, when people get let down by the system, when even the judiciary does not seem to be listening or raising a noise about issues, like in the case of Twisha Sharma, who does the public look to for justice, for raising their voice, for bringing something that's utterly false, illegal or wrong to public attention? It is only and only the media. And today, therefore, we are doing a media trial in this specific case, ladies and gentlemen, of Twisha Sharma, the 33-year-old daughter-in-law of an ex-judge